And I just want to thank everyone for stopping in. Uh, it's been great having you all here tonight, and we've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
So,
been some good stuff.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And yeah,
We got to do this again sometime soon.
yeah, no, that'd be fantastic if feasible. So yeah, cool.
So, from uh, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Everybody have a fun, okay?
And enjoy.
Yep.
Dot dot dot. 20xc6.
Did something just happen there?
I don't know. I what? How is your radiator fluid at the moment?
Uh, Neon green.
Is the car in H? Is what I want to know.
I put it in H.
Oh well, then I don't know what's wrong.
It comes from a country that no longer exists.
Oh, oh, a dip.
Yep. So, anyway, yeah. Where is everybody? Did they all leave?
I don't know, Davy. Um, hmm.
I mean, here we are just getting ready to do this stream, and there's like nobody here.
Well, he did let some people know, right?
Oh, yeah, I let, Prime and Mo and Jay, and so there's people who
Oh,
know.
okay. There's Prime there. Awesome.
Hey, Prime. No, there's no way we could run a stream earlier simply because I can't. I got things I got to do before 9.
Well, it seems your prank was successful at least, so,
Yep, I got the whole
Oh,
audience to tune out.
yep. Played him like a damn fiddle.
I played this stinking city like a harp from hell.
Good movie, in my opinion. Weird one, but I
Oh,
like it.
weird doesn't even begin to describe that movie.
I would argue it's even more out there than at least Batman Forever is.
Yeah, what's your opinion, Prime?
Yeah, about Batman Returns. If you have any opinion, is it SCTV? Is it a good movie at the very least, or I mean, just what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I went and saw it in theaters when it came out, and then didn't watch it again for a couple of decades. And then
Mm.
when I finally watched it again, I was like, "Damn, this is a weird movie
It really is, Davey.
for a Batman movie. This is weird."
Yeah, it's like once again he actually killed that guy from what do you call it? Over the Top, right?
Oh, was that the dude he basically shoved the dynamite into?
Yeah, the tattooed strongman. I believe that was Rick Zumwalt, who was the rival in the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestle him up over the top. What a cheesy fucking film.
Yeah. So you like it a lot, especially with the character parallels.
Yeah,
wait, is it, we're talking like Batman and Penguin here, like, or what?
I mean, despite the whole weird "I was revived by my cats" thing, I did think that was a really interesting portrayal of Catwoman, at least.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and I it had given I actually
Hey, Eris.
kind of like the catch of, oh, hey Eris, hey Jay, hey
Yeah,
everyone.
Jay, what's up?
I actually like the catch of the Penguin being a deformed freak and an outcast from society. I mean, hot take. I mean, of course, DeVito's just 100 in the role, no question there. But um, I think that film gave the Penguin more to work with than the animated series ever did. If that's not too much of a scorcher, I don't know. Sam might call blasphemy on me if you were here, but I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. All I know is it could be worse. My nose could be gushing blood.
Oh god, that fucking part. Yeah. Apparently, the guy whose nose he bit played the main character in this Sega CD FMV game by the name of Wirehead.
That was the
I
dude from
not.
Wirehead.
It was, yes, totally.
Yeah, my friend Andre had that. For
Oh, you're
I'm
familiar
trying to
with that.
steer him
Nice.
toward good games, and he's picking up FMV crap.
Did Andre have Sewer Shark? I must ask.
That he did not,
Oh, that's surprising.
or
I
Night
guess he
Trap.
still had. Oh, dank.
And how are you feeling anyway, Jay?
Yeah, yeah. We had heard that you had come across an injury earlier, so we just want to make sure you're doing okay.
Yeah, but no, you see, my efforts in successfully steering Andre towards good stuff on the Sega CD,
Hmm.
it worked.
Good, good. The Sega CD is, I feel, forever an underrated peripheral. I mean, if nothing else, I have more going for it than the 32X would, but like, uh, I mean, it had its problems.
Hey, Brandon.
It was bogged down by some. Oh, hey, Brandon, what's up? Oh shit, sorry to hear about your head, dude. But hey, hope you enjoy whatever you can of our stream. But if you need to rest and go for it, just put you first.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to take care of yourself first.
Hmm.
But no, what I ended up selling Andre on the thing was stuff like, I'm trying to remember, Popple Mail and Lunar.
Yes, yes, very good.
Yeah. So yeah, stream of consciousness. Basically, we're gonna be bullshitting about whatever we feel like.
We are. Uh, Rob's going to punch me for this, but we are freewheeling like Bob Dylan, because that was the name of one of his early albums, the Freewheeling Bob Dylan. Mm,
That
I'm fired.
aside, yeah,
I'm
you're
fired
you're
already.
fine.
And
Oh
with
yeah.
good cause.
So
Intimate friend. Lean, lean.
yeah, but freeform is what we're here to do tonight. So expect anything and anything possibly. So
Or expect nothing. Like
yeah,
Seinfeld. God, I am a nerd. But yeah, so Batman Returns, Sega CD, so we can check that out. How's the Batman Returns game on the Sega CD?
uh, probably best not to talk about that.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, the driving sequences were all right, but the rest of it's that same shitty Genesis game.
Oh yeah, it was an upscale port. I don't think I've ever played that one yet, and judging on what you've told me, it's probably best that I continue not to.
Mo,
Hey Mo, hey Sharon, how y'all doing?
yep, Sharon's here.
All right, good, good,
So
fantastic.
yeah, yeah. Now keep in mind when it came to Batman games, I was spoiled by Sunsoft.
Yeah, no, they made 4 fucking Batman games. They really ran the license.
I mean, the NES game and the Genesis game alone had me spoiled. And then I play this one. I think Sega themselves. I know they distributed it, but it was probably by some like Nova Trade or something like that. For all I know.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was not impressed. Luckily, Konami
yeah,
came along on the Super NES with Batman Returns, and that more than made up for that piece of crap.
yeah, yeah,
Zombie!
absolutely. And hey, zombie, yo, what up?
Uh, cool. I guess word just kind of gets out all of a sudden when our notification just pops up.
Hey, a Snarb, what up?
Snarb. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, what? What a minute, wait.
Snarb, of course.
Hey, you know Snarv likes quirky Genesis games. Don't hold it against him.
Quirky, I'm not sure if that's the word I'd use for some of those, like, Chikan.
Well, Chikan is an acquired taste. I mean,
Oh,
if
it's
not
totally an
quirky,
acquired taste.
I would refer to Chikan as hard boiled. Maybe not that. I don't know. Uh, shit. Snarver, how would you describe Chikan if you had a fair term for that? And zombie is also gritty. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Grit as shit. Yes, exactly.
Sorry, Zombie, I'm no fan of Chikan. Except the Game Gear version. I like that one for some reason.
Which is very strange. It's like I know your dislikes, for the most part, are pretty well apparent, but occasionally it baffles me that you like a thing that is not normally for what you would like zero tolerance
Yeah.
among FPSs on the Genesis. Although I did beat that game last year, and it is very surprisingly entrancing.
Huh.
If not, also pretty difficult in its own way, but it mostly just requires a lot of patience to get through. It's a lot longer than I thought it would be.
I'm also going to say for the record that among games I dislike would be Sonic the Hedgehog in the majority of its permutations, with one exception.
But yes, you actually like the first SMS game
Yes. Yeah, Sonic for the
slash Game
Master
Gear
System.
game.
Yep.
Yes.
But I prefer the Master System one because you get more of a playing field that you can view.
Yeah. That's probably the case in the caveat for any game that came out for the SMS and the GG. So.
And Prime, you're it too, Brandon.
Well, the Stage 1 music in Booger Man's good on the Genesis, at least. That's something I can say in its favor.
And Prime, what is up with your internet though?
Poo. Yeah, apparently on our... actually, Rob, how do I sound now? Because apparently my call quality was just, like, pantsing out when our test earlier.
Yeah, you sound better.
Good.
And,
Good.
And of course, Zombie brought up Echo, another one of my least favorite Genesis games.
I have little love for Echo myself. I'm sorry. I think the sequel is somewhat better, but certainly still not free of the structural problems that the first game has. But
Yes, I'm starting to think that, Snarb.
you both like Gunstar Heroes at least, so that's
is.
some common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ties of Time is definitely better. I could maybe stand to sit in for that one. At least the layouts felt like they were more action oriented and less bumblefucky, for lack of a better word.
So, find Waldo yet again. Well, he's not even trying anymore.
If you mean the NES, Where's Waldo, Brandon? Ooh, boy, that game is a pile and a half. It's like, I'll never let Bethesda forget that they had to, start out on a crap piece such as that. Fuck you, Todd Howard.
If you want to talk about bad NES games, I mean, I can name a handful off the top of my head right now.
Are they all by LJN?
No.
Are any of them by LJN?
Maybe. I mean, X-Men.
Probably. Yeah. I never hear anyone say anything good about that game, even in irony. And it's just the worst.
But then you got like Cliffhanger, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, the Muppet Cast at the Carnival game.
Yeah, that one's just terrible.
It is. Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates.
That was like, I don't know, Sony ImageSoft or some bullshit.
I don't know who did that, but Hook was much better.
Yeah. I still need to get around to the SNES and Genesis version of that someday.
Well, one thing I got to say about this whole LJN thing is that they were basically just the distributor.
Yeah, no, they're only the publisher. The developers were. I want to say they foisted a fair deal of their games off on software creations, I think was a semi common
Yeah,
developer they turned to,
them.
who mostly did some real workman crap,
Hey,
especially with
Tristan, how's
the
it going?
Marvel license. Oh, shit, Tristan. Hey, man. What's up?
Yeah, yeah. I've been making myself pretty scarce, so. But
Yeah,
but
he's
yeah,
been busy.
I know that you know, besides software creations, Beam Software, and
Yeah.
also Rare.
Yeah, oh yeah. Rare's contract work is a huge mixed bag. Like,
Also,
wow. I mean, they made some legit good games for the Genesis, and
and the
I mean
NES.
the NES. Yeah, shit. Well, they did some things for the Genesis, not as many. I remember that they ported both Snake Rattle and Roll and Battletoads to the thing, and RC Pro Am, if I'm not mistaken.
Now that's interesting, Prime. I can see
Oh,
that though. I can see something like
hmm.
that happening.
Yeah, same here.
It's like, well,
Certainly.
but could they ever do a video game version of "I Took a Licking from a Chicken"? No.
What?
You never heard about that LJN game?
No. What?
Basically, it's an actual game you could buy and put batteries in it and play. And what it is it's you versus a chicken at like tic tac toe.
Oh. Huh.
My mom loved to play that game.
Peculiar.
Mm-hmm.
Very peculiar.
Solar Jet Man. Oh, it's too bad you missed
Yeah.
the last stream we did.
Yeah, Tristan. I'm a huge fan of Solar Jet, man. I extolled it on our NES Hidden Gems cast.
Yeah, yeah, Snarb, I can see that there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they were probably always like pointing at the clock and doing the finger thing that means the taxes.
Yeah,
Yes, Solar Jetman is a very like atmospheric game. I don't know of many other things on the NES that feel exactly like it does. Like it really feels like you are exploring these weird, creepy alien worlds, and there's 12 of them. It's a actually pretty long game to get through if you don't use any passwords. And yeah, no, it's some really great shit, to say the least. That final level though, it's kind of bullshit. You only get one life to do that though, and if you blow it, you have to play the final planet with pleasure all over again. But no, for the most part, Soul Jet made some great shit.
though it's games that feature gravity or inertia usually don't do anything for me.
That is, what do you think about Subterranea on the Genesis?
I've only played it a little bit, but for a game that involves gravity, it's not too bad.
It's a solid one, yeah. Tough as shit, but I really like it a lot.
Well, that's kind of like how I like Psycho Fox, and that game is Dick Tokai going, "We inertia based games are fun."
I need to play that one more, but I do like Decapitat quite a bit, and that one is oddly related to Psycho Fox, if I'm
Yes,
not
by way
mistaken.
of Magical Hat, which
Hmm.
relates to Psycho Fox, which goes all the way back to Kid Cool.
Oh, Solar Jetman possessed by a that would be like the Jason X version of Splatterhouse.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh,
Jason X, which is probably actually one of my more favorite Friday the 13th movies, but
the movie's hysterical.
it's a fucking fun ride to say the least.
I just love when they put him in the holodeck or whatever it is and simulate Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, and then it's like, hey, want to drink and have unprotected sex with us?
And the next
And
thing you know, he's got them both wrapped up in their sleeping bags. He's just wanting to beat the other. And they're like, "Ow, ow, ow, that hurts! Stop it!
yeah,
Ow!"
reference to one of the most beloved moments from the seventh movie,
Uh,
so to speak.
but yeah, Brandon, Kid Cool. It's an NES game. You should be able to find out information about it pretty easily. Although it's spelled, cool is spelled with a K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get the feeling that one's not super popular for some reason.
No, and in Japan for the Famicom, it actually starred some child star at the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. They definitely like their celebrity games over there,
I'll
which
say.
what like oh there's this one video series that I actually finished lately by a YouTuber by the name of Random Stranger called Famadaily. He looked at absolutely every Famicom game ever released, and there was a lot of crap in there. Quite a
Oh
bit of
yeah,
it was licensed.
no surprise
And
there.
yeah, and hey, totally rad. I love that one. I grew up playing that, and yeah, I remember Random Stranger said he actually quite liked that one as well, although it was referred foremost by its Japanese name, Magic John, which I
That's
will forever say Magic John sounds like the name of a sex toy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
or possibly an enchanted toilet.
Or that, yeah, that's fair.
But you know, I have never owned a copy of Totally Rad, but I have a copy of Magic John.
Oh, nice.
And yes, Quest for the Seven Wonder Herbs.
Yeah, cousins with Steely Dan. Hey, guess what? I can think of at least two things wrong with that title.
Anyway, so we're not only talking about video games tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Again, this
So
is an anything goes stream, but we're nerds, so we'll probably naturally gravitate towards games now and again.
well, in fact, if we were to tried,
That right, right. Snarb told me about that not too long ago. It was a very admirable effort, but it eventually reached a wall with like I don't know some bullshit about teenage suicides for like 50 pages. I don't know, just something really fucking weird like that.
Magic John
It,
and
it
Hanging Chad.
Jesus Christ. Uh,
But
so yeah,
now, if well, as you know, I've been doing a lot of writing. I got
a
books I'm
lot.
working
Yeah.
on. However, what you may not know is that Mike is writing as well, working on a book of his own. But guess what? It ties into video games.
Yeah, yeah. So
One
we're
in
already down.
particular.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, this it's like for the past several years, I keep trying to just write without really putting much forethought into what it is I'm writing, and then it just kind of reads like navel gazing masturbation without much of a focus. But this time I did decide to have a focus, and I basically just want to write about the art and inspiration that the game of Doom can unlikely bring to people. The original Doom and Doom 2, as it were, the 90s rendition, not the not Doom 3 or the modern day revivals, which I do like in their own way, but it's like I don't know. Doom is maybe my favorite video game ever, although it's kind of neck and neck with Contra in a way. Doom's my favorite game ever made outside of Japan, at least. So I can at least put it that way without Rob giving me the hairy eyeball. But
But that's fine.
so so yeah, oh shit, Tristan likes the idea. All right, well, yeah. The thing about Doom is that even more than 30 years later, after its launch, it still actually has a pretty active and thriving community that continues to make a lot of custom content based on it. And like, they stretch the engine as far as they can get. Like I've played some really crazy, awesome custom Doom content in the form of WADs, which
Bunch of
stands for
Doom
Where's All the
wads.
Data. Yes, but Doomwad. Hey, you're a total Doomwad, dude. That seems like sounds like an insult that you can call someone. But like I remember playing this one that has this one wad that's like this really giant sort of puzzle level. That oh hey my house, yeah no that one Yeah, maybe I should mention that in my book. That one like kind of took the world by storm actually for a brief bit, and it does some pretty creepy and neat stuff. There's this other one I played somewhat recently by the name of The Given, which has absolutely no enemies or combat in it at all. It's just entirely all exploration and puzzles. It's like a Myst game rendered entirely in the Doom engine, but I thought it was really fucking cool. It's yeah, no, all sorts of stuff like, like full episode megawads like Ancient Aliens, which is maybe my favorite, or well, one of my favorites at least, and like shorter sets like Overboard, which is this crazy island adventure that doesn't take itself seriously for a bit. It's some really like there is so much to be said about what Doom has done over the years, and even what it continues to do, and what it could possibly do. I was inspired by a channel I really like, dude by the handle of Mount Pain 27, who has brought greater exposure to Doom wads with his show, the Dean of Doom, where like he ranks every level of a wad by quality and difficulty, and it's definitely gotten me to check out a lot of stuff that I didn't think I would before, and it's I just think at this point that Doom's worth making a book of. The current working title I have is Dis Is It, with Dis being the name of the final level of the original Doom. That might be a little esoteric, but I'll explain in the foreword. Should I stick with this title? I might not. But yeah, so writing about how artistic I find Doom wads, and how inspiring they've been, how cool they are, what emotions it evokes in me. Like, the one caveat about this book is that I've been finally forced to admit that video games are indeed art. Otherwise, it kind of unravels the thesis of my entire book here if I don't really commit to that. Which that's something I've been wavy on over the years, but it is what it is.
Now,
If Tristan finds the idea interesting, then yeah, it's a good sign.
now, as someone who looks at most first-person shooters and thinks, I feel like a rat trapped in a maze. Where's the cheese?
Despite all your rage, you're still just a rat in a maze.
Pretty much. What kind of insight would this give me into the genre?
I feel that anyone who doesn't know a lot about Doom, like, my premise would be to, of course, sell them on the game itself, which it does serve as a gateway to what the first-person shooter genre can do. But even if they don't explore that furthermore, I'm just kind of looking at this from the sort of highfalutin angle of, this is how inspiring that I find a single game to be. I can write like a whole novel length expedition about just this one game and what it's done. Although maybe it's a bit of a cheat because like that one game, so to speak, has made a lot of other games with all of its custom wads and such. But I just want to. Oh, thank you, Sharon. You just something I just farted off the top of my head, but thank you nonetheless. Yeah, I just kind of want to, like, for people who are in the know, like, I kind of want to celebrate them, and I also want to sell Doom to people who aren't in the know, and just, sort of, if not a narrative, then just kind of, just mention what my thoughts on Doom wads have been. It is a kind of a love-hate relationship at some point. At some point earlier in the book, I may take this line out, but I want to say that this is like the Walden of video game books, the Walden of Doom books, and that's definitely yanking my own dick to declare that, but like I want to experience kind of like that, just sort of journaling out my thoughts of what Doom means to me, and I'm just hoping that anyone else can see it the way that I do through my eyes with my words, if nothing else, if nothing that cerebral, then I just want to talk cool shit about one of my favorite games ever,
Now, as far as I can tell, there is a direct line from Doom to Redneck Rampage.
Yeah, you could say that.
And there
Uh,
was some other stuff, I'm sure, but
if Snarbu's listening in, I know Redneck Rampage is a big favorite of his, so I haven't played it as much as I probably should yet. But it is fun, even if the some of the weapons are kind of iffy. But it's a real interesting title, and yeah, I guess you could say that like Doom was sort of at collaboration. Like Doom wasn't published by Apogee, but does have some history since Tom Hall went over to work for Apogee eventually, who's one of the original id Software guys, and then Apogee I forget if they became 3D Realms or what, but then they published Duke Nukem 3D, which ran on the Build engine, and it's Duke and Blood and Shadow Warrior are considered like the God 3 of Build, but Redneck Rampage also runs in that Build engine, and it is at least a better game than William Shatner's Tech War, which was also on the Build engine. Yes, I've played that game. For some reason, I beat it twice in my life. I have no fucking idea why.
how else are the children going to learn about Tech War?
Yeah, I did learn some things about Tech War at least. Mostly it was just the chat yelling at me for being too violent, but I still got a pass anyway, so shrug.
Yeah.
That game is so fucking weird, Jesus Christ.
So yes, this novel is being worked on, and you will find it at some point in the future for sale, I'm sure.
I sure hope so, yeah. Like, I'm not working on it as fervently as you have been working on your own writings, but, every week I add a bit more to it. I'm almost near the end of the second chapter. Maybe I should, if I'm still feeling the idea, I should probably buckle down and put a little more into it. Like, I don't know, maybe at some point, like 1,000 words per day or 500 at least. I don't know. I could use a little more discipline. I have strayed off the path a bit, but
Hmm.
if people find the idea interesting, and then I am definitely all for continuing to pursue it. And yes, Tristan saying earlier that creativity born from the limitation of the tools in front of you, or yes, that's actually a point that I want to sell with Doom and limitations of creativity and all. That I forever have believed in the simple principle of less is more. That's why I still like so many retro games, and like I get a lot more out of sometimes games from the 80s than I do from nowadays, like NES, like most things on the NES, like a Sunsoft game, for example, like Blaster Master. That game looks so much better to me than some military propaganda bullshit shat out in Unreal Engine 3 does, or whatever. Oh, hey, Fester's Quest. So, Brandon, that is actually a game that I grew up on. It's a very imperfect one, but I have beaten it. Yes, it does play actually a pretty, almost like Mambo version of the Adams Family theme on the title screen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, interesting shit there. Yeah, Snarb has also been playing a lot of PlayStation titles lately. He actually found this one by Konami by the name of Soul of the Samurai that I'm not sure I've ever heard of before.
Hmm.
Rob, you may have heard of that one. I have no idea.
Heard of it? Never played it.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I forget if I've even heard of it. Like, oh shit, a Konami game I don't know about. Wow, I'm a fan, aren't I? Jesus.
Every so often, it does happen.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. It almost feels like kind of a distant prototype to Onimusha. Although it does seem just a little bit janky. Like this one boss fight against this massive monk or whatever just kind of seems like bullshit from just observing it. I haven't played it at all yet, but it's yeah, with some light horror elements as well. It does seem very interesting, at least, if not maybe a little jank. But interesting but jank seems like something you could say about a lot of PlayStation 1 titles at the time.
This
So,
is true. Now,
yeah.
you mentioned my own writing and how I've basically been just so absorbed in it.
You really have, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ever since this, I think the end of last October, I've been working on this duology of books.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've mentioned it here and the few times we've streamed in between, then and now. But does anyone here want to even take a guess as to what kind of story I'm writing? You're not included, Mike.
Well, shit.
Because most people that know me would figure, oh, you're writing some kind of huge sci-fi epic or some kind of, horror thing. You're a splatterhouse guy and all that. Brandon would be correct.
He is, yeah. Wait, hey, Brandon, has Rob mentioned anything to you before? Would he also be the Well, yeah, I guess it's moot now to say, but yeah.
Nope, I have not.
Oh, well, shit. Good guess, man.
Yep. It is also kind of a period piece as well. So, taking place back in better days.
Mm.
The early 90s. And I don't want to go into too much detail about the plot or anything like that, but I'm not looking to write the great American novel, or novels as it were. It's just a story I wanted to tell, and I'm finally telling it. It's not to say I didn't throw in a little bit of cheap pop for myself.
Yeah,
There,
yeah.
there,
There's at least one movie you have mentioned that I won't spoil that you did homage fairly directly, as I recall.
eh, maybe post the title in the chat. I'll confirm if it's a yes or no. Not the chat, but the Discord.
Okay.
Now, this actually, in a weird way, I had an idea a long time ago for a story called The Biplane Pilot. And
Huh.
several elements from that story actually did make it into these two books.
Oh,
But,
really?
huh, yes, Mike, you are correct.
You haven't mentioned that. Not going to spoil what, but it
Nope.
is in there somehow.
But yeah, so the biplane story, the biplane pilot itself, that story just I could never come up with a workable kind of thing, and it took me years to crack this one. I mean, I first came up with the idea for it back, I think, in 2017.
Egg.
Yeah, and I only just cracked the story itself last year. It's been sitting in the back of my head this whole time. But a lot of it is based on stuff that happened to me or my friends. You know, keep in mind, based on. There's nothing autobiographical about this at all.
Mm-hmm.
And in the second book, I've actually created a character I have decided to go ahead and spin off into her own series of stories.
Yeah, you became pretty fond of them. I'm actually surprised how that kind of evolved, but I'm on
So am
board
I.
for it. Yeah.
Now, her series of books is not going to have anything to do with romance, love stories, etc. I am going to, because most people know I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. So
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of adventure stories like that. So this is
You were also fond of the film based on Sahara, if I'm not mistaken.
I was more fond of the book.
Gotcha. My bad.
Yeah, well, the movie was decent.
Fair.
Now, mystery elements, you maybe kind of, sort of.
Well, nothing like the mystery box, I hope. Fuck you, J. Abrams.
No mystery box. No.
Good.
But there's going to be an opportunity for more mysteries in the spin-off series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to basically I guess you could say the MacGuffin in each book is either going to be based on something historical which actually happened or something I just made up. It all depends. So, but that one is basically the first book in that series is in the early planning stages right now. I've got a few characters. I have an idea of what's being hunted. And Other than that, no, I got nothing. The first book from the duology, the rough draft, is actually complete. The second book, I'm currently about 124 pages in, and I'm taking a break right now because of burnout. But I do intend to get back to it soon because this story needs to be finished. That way
Yeah,
they can.
not
Hmm?
not to peel the curtain back too much, but you didn't even intend to get as far as you did in the other book that you're currently on right now, correct?
That's true. I was going to just take a break from the whole thing for like a month, and I had too many good ideas for the second one. I just had to start writing it.
God, I just wish I could be that perpetually motivated.
Well, it's I guess breaking the original story is what really got me going.
Mm.
And it's like because I kind of worked backward from an image I had, and I worked
Hmm.
way back.
Nice.
So that's what eventually led to Nothing Man, and what will eventually lead into Better Man.
Very good. Very good. Those are both Pearl Jam references, also, if
There it,
you
it
did
is,
not say
yes.
that. Yes.
I only just now mentioned the titles.
That is another good point. Yes.
Yes, there's a quite a bit about music and Nothing Man to a degree. Less
Dumb offhand question. I'm not sure if I've asked yet, but how much has the movie Singles been an inspiration for you in this case?
not as much as you might think.
Gotcha.
However, before I started writing Nothing Man, I did rewatch it just to get a feel for the era again.
Nice. Very nice.
Hmm.
Is there a band by the name of Citizen Dick in your book, or do they have a name that awesome?
No, the most we see is a couple of cover bands at one point,
Ah, gotcha.
and one of them sucks and the other one's good.
Ah, yeah. The duality of bands being good or bad, I guess.
Yeah, the bad one's the opening act.
Boo. Oh well.
But yeah, there's a lot about music at the time, and I obviously try to keep it as non-anachronistic as possible. Say something again, Mike.
Something again, Mike.
Okay, you came through much better that time.
Oh, that is my mic being a fart again?
It did briefly.
All right. Well, if it happens again, I could once again quickly duck out of refresh Discord if I need to. So
Yeah, I'll let you
let
know
me.
if it does it again.
Okay.
Now, that's not to say I don't have other stories in mind, but I can tell you one thing: I am about done with the video game books.
Yeah,
I
that's fair.
am so done because for the past how long now? Nearly 20 years. I've basically that's been what people have known me for: memoirs of a virtual caveman, and so on. And I have one more book in mind that's partially written, which I will finish. And after that, there's a very good chance I will never write another uh, video game book.
Probably for the best if you feel that well's pretty much tapped out. Although
Yeah.
kind of funny that you don't want to write one, but now I do. So
Well,
it is what it is.
exactly. And it's like any other ideas that I have are actually original ideas that have nothing to do with video games, so to speak.
Gotcha.
And, which kind of leads me to something else. Memoirs of a Virtual Caveman, myself being the virtual caveman in question. I finally took a step out of the cave for the first time in, how long now? About 16 years?
Yeah, this is still kind of shocking to me. I'll be honest.
Shocking to me.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Before the price was hiked, I bought a PS5.
Well, I forget if the price has been hiked yet, but it's
It was supposed to go up on the second, if I remember correctly.
oh, well, maybe it has then. Yeah. Uh, yeah, you talk a bit about that. I don't want to get too socio-political, but
Well, we won't touch on that part of it at all. But I will say, as
okay.
far as my small games library is concerned, I only own one game which would actually be considered a PS5 game.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy, Snarb. Yeah, but the only one I actually own would be Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Which
Every
he certainly could not own because he's also the indie guy, in the addition to being the Splatterhouse guy, practically.
Yeah, so had to get it for that because
Hmm.
it was gifted to me by somebody I know, and it's like, well, shit. Now I need to get a PS5 so I can play this stupid thing. I couldn't run it on Steam because my computer just isn't powerful enough.
Yeah.
But whatever else I have is about 100% retro. Whether actual retro games or Eartheon. That's the best way I can say it because Eartheon. You know, the game that was designed on a Genesis originally, which the cartridge version still has not been released. Yes, Eartheon good.
It is, yes.
So, but yeah, everything else is like, Irem Collection Volume 1, Gradius Origins, and they were both on sale, so I digitally picked up the Castlevania and Contra Anniversary Collections.
Sweet.
I thought about making a board game a long time ago.
Oh, cool.
It never happened.
Oh, darn.
Eh, I was a kid too. So,
Well, that's fair.
yes, Sharon does own Eartheon.
Very nice.
And you want to know why?
You told her to purchase it?
No, I'm the one that did.
Oh, okay. Fair deal.
It was a present, as I recall correctly, for birthday
Very
or
nice.
Christmas or something.
Very nice.
Virtual Caveman, the home game. Yeah, we come up with some rules and some tokens and stuff and a board. And it would have to be heavily influenced by Candyland.
Yeah. Lose a turn if you have to play Call of Duty or some bullshit.
Exactly. It's like you have entered the Microsoft marshes.
Oh, man.
And you get stuff like, warning, you're entering uh, the realm of the PC master race. Stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
Uh, yeah, Virtual Caveman. You know what? You don't get to come back tomorrow. You don't even get a lousy copy of our home game.
You're a complete loser.
Did I prank her, Mo? No, actually, it was a legitimate gift because it's an excellent game. And as far as I know, and Sharon, you can confirm this, you like it.
Nice.
Unless you're talking about actually, like, wrapping it up in like 15 boxes or something like that. Because I totally would have done that if I was able to. We actually had that whole thing happen when we were much younger. She bought me a CD for Christmas and wrapped it in a bunch of boxes with duct tape and stuff. And that was, I think, Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power.
Oh, sweet.
In turn, she told me she wanted dirt.
By Alice in Chains?
She just said dirt.
Oh,
So,
I gotcha.
so what I did was I took an empty cassette tape and went outside, filled it up with dirt, sealed it up, wrapped it up, gave it to her.
Yep, I remember this now.
Had a label on it that said 100% all natural Florida dirt. And then I gave her the actual disc. Yeah, see, Eartheon is good.
Yeah.
Damn right, Eartheon's good. But yes, this is the kind of thing that I do. At least I did. I don't do it that much anymore. But you know that kind of what in particular, Brandon? Are we talking PS5 here, or am I going down the wrong path here?
Oh, Resident Evil did have its most
Oh, board
recent.
games.
There's a Resident Evil
Yeah.
board game. Huh. I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm not sure I've ever heard of one yet.
I have seen so many video game board games over the years.
Mm.
They made
That
a
is a very interesting zone to examine that I don't know much about somehow.
they made a Zaxxon board game. How do you make a board
What,
game out of Zaxxon?
what the fuck?
Like Pac-Man, I get. Okay, Cubert, I can see that as a board game.
Yeah.
Zaxxon? Okay.
Yeah, board game based on a space shoot 'em up in particular seems like how do we even meet that out? You can't travel across spaces. You can only fly across them.
Huh. Well, you just roll the dice, and that tells you how many shots you're supposed to fire. Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Huh.
I don't know.
Dang.
I've never played the Zaxxon board game. I've just seen it. But speaking of stuff like that, and older things, so on and so forth. I was talking to Prime earlier today, and we got talking about malls,
Yeah,
and
you did.
that just kind of gave me an idea that we should talk about things that no longer exist.
Yeah, it's the depressing segment of the stream.
Yep.
Woo!
So, yes. In fact, Mo will know exactly what I'm talking about here. Discount Submarine Warehouse, formerly known as the Crystal Mall.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like, what did I tell you? Yeah, rentals. That's something else too.
Mm. Yeah. I got quite a few N64 games back in the day that some of which I never got around to actually owning full time.
Fire subs.
I realize.
But hey, Bats, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Betsy, what up?
But yes, the mom and pop video store, which, as I recall, you and Snarb and I all discussed at one point,
Yeah,
a
that
long ass
does
time ago now.
sound pretty familiar. Yeah.
Like the kind of place you walk into, and yeah, they got your new releases right there, close by the register. But as you go back, you find all these like weird ass horror movies no one's ever heard of, or you know, yeah, pretty much it was like Dire Place Zero.
Yeah, that's a
And
good point. God, how long ago was that?
then you find like the kids section that has cartoons that you grew up with that haven't seen in 20 years. And inevitably, in the back, you have the swinging double doors that you walk into, and it's all porno, porno, porno.
Sadly, I was never. I don't recall being in any rental store that had that. The one that I frequented was actually a chain back in the day, Hollywood Video.
I
So
remember
I
them.
don't believe they had any adult sections, but yeah, there were quite a few good game rentals that I got from them back in the day.
I remember Hollywood.
I also remember I get to mention Batman Forever again because one of the walls was just like the poster imposed onto the wall near the register. But yeah, no, it was definitely 90s as heck, and it became a mattress warehouse of some sort eventually, which I guess it still is now. But no, I still remember that segment pretty distinctly, and
Yeah.
it yeah, no, but I think there's only like one blockbuster video in the entire world that still exists now, and it's mostly just there as a novelty. At least that's the impression I get out of it. But
Well, I the video stores where I lived in the early '90s. One was a place called 10,000 Videos, if I remember correctly.
hmm,
That was a small chain because they had a couple other locations, but they did have a porno section. I
hell
also
damn.
I also bought a few video games from them when they started selling off their older stuff.
Hmm,
And then there was the Blockbuster, which is what put them out of business.
dang.
That I remember buying a couple of games there. I got Contra Force there.
Ah, that weird one.
Yeah, and I paid like $5 for it.
Nice.
I think I also bought my first copy of Gunstar Heroes there, for that matter.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, they had a small anime section too, which is something you didn't usually find.
Hmm. Did they have any segments that combined anime and porno?
They Blockbuster, no.
Oh, wait, you're talking Blockbuster. Okay, I
Yeah.
zoned out for a bit, obviously. Jesus Christ.
On the other hand, the local video store right down the road from where I used to live, Video Plus,
Hmm.
they had a porno section, and there were several hentai videos back there,
Cool.
horrendously dubbed into English.
Ah, nice. Very nice.
Oh, I remember me and my group of friends renting one just to see what the hell it was like, and it was just the funniest damn thing ever.
Hmm.
It was called Gonad the Barbarian.
Yep, it was. I
It
remember
was
this now.
so terrible. Oh, but got a lot of laughs out of that for years. But when Video Plus started closing down, that's where I cleaned up in the game section. And that was the only place I ever encountered that rented TurboGrafx games.
Oh, god damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
It's up on the archive.
I believe I actually did look it up really briefly, and yeah, it was very unserious. That's the only way I can really
Yeah,
put it.
unserious is a good way to put it. Uh, but yeah, they actually had. I remember distinctly seeing Soldier Blade and Samurai Ghost and never renting either of them.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't.
you missed out on Soldier Blade, I can tell you that.
I'll say it. I like Samurai Ghost for what it is.
Yeah, it's not bad, all things considered.
But really, Snarb? Huh?
What? They ain't got no TurboGrafx games.
Thank you, Strong Bell.
I
It's being
had
eaten by some
to.
Linux or something.
I
Yeah, it's not just a lost myth. They actually do exist. But I was trying to think that also they actually had some porno parodies in this in the store too.
nice.
Uh, Ridiculous.
Sweet.
We all kept looking for Super Hornio Brothers though, but
Yeah,
never heard about it, never found it, and we also found out the reason why. When Nintendo heard about that, they blew a gasket and bought the movie and then destroyed it.
it sounds like something they do.
I bet Shiggy's got a copy though.
Mamma mia, those are some spicy meatballs. I'll shut up forever now.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Music stores, the mall in general. We went there like so many times. We had two malls within driving distance of each other. About 45 minutes
Sweet.
either way to get there. As far as I know, they both still exist, but they're shadows of their former selves.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There was the Volusia Mall down in Daytona, and
Hmm.
the Altamont Mall in Altamont Springs,
Nice.
and they both had a couple of nice little arcades in there.
Very good.
And of course, they had your usual stuff like Spencer's and the food court with Sabaro and all those places you only ever see in the mall.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
And the music stores though, because that's where we were spending a lot of our time.
Yeah.
Camelot Music was a big one.
Yeah, I remember that name from back in the day, even
Mm-hmm.
if just somewhat.
Yeah, I wish I could remember some of the other music stores that were there, but
Well, I couldn't tell you about a music store, but just about most of the malls I recall had a Suncoast video in them, at least.
oh, Suncoast, absolutely. Uh, let's see. Yep, Sabaros. I've eaten there several times in the past. The food courts. They actually closed down the Spencers in the Crystal Mall.
A dip.
Wow. Yep, that's a sign.
Wow.
At some point, no one's going to be able to enter that building except for the employees.
Or the rats.
Well, rats. I remember too. Hot Topic. Yeah, Spencer's was there almost from the beginning. It feels like Hot Topic came along later.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a Johnny come lately, but it did become a fixture of malls in at least like the early 2000s when they still had some validity at least.
Yeah, but I remember. I remember when the Crystal Mall first opened back in '84. So I was like 9 at the time. But
Hmm.
going there was just absolutely incredible because they had toy stores and they had music stores and I remember going in there at because this is right around the time that the great crash had happened. The great video game crash of '83. I remember seeing just piles of Atari games cheap, real cheap.
Hmm.
Yeah, because
Very.
they couldn't give them away.
Hmm. Dang.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. I was watching Blazing Saddles the other night, so.
Oh, sweet.
But so Rusty was talking about it on Blue Sky, huh? Suncoast. They're actually still Suncoast.
Damn.
Actually, Suncoast reminds me of a couple of things. I remember I got my copy of the Konami Arcade Classics for the PS1 there.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm. Or no, that was where no, I didn't get it there. Now that was a different story entirely. That was my girlfriend at the time had actually picked it up for me after it came out. After I made this
That does
prom,
sound somewhat familiar,
yeah, it
yeah.
made it into memoirs. I had made a promise her I wasn't going to buy any more games for a while, and then that was the one I was looking forward to because Arcade Time Pilot finally at home.
Yeah.
But Suncoast, I was hanging out one day with some friends of mine who shall remain nameless right now. Well,
Hmm.
there was 4 of us total. 3 of us were, browsing through all the music in one of the music stores, and it was just one of those things. We weren't done yet. And meanwhile, our other friend wanted drive-in theaters. Drive-in
Hmm.
theaters. It's like
Hmm.
I think you mean just drive-in movies. I think isn't a theater in a building, or do they call them that too?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, I
Wait,
guess they.
Prime said, "Yep." Prime confirmed it. So, all right. Anyway, back to the story. Uh, Now, one of this pair is a brother and sister. So the the sister, she's hanging out with me and my other friend looking through the music. And her brother wanted to go down to Suncoast, and he kept trying to get one of us to go with him. And we were all like, we're not done here yet, you know? So finally, he gets to his sister, and she just refuses. She's like, no, I'm not done looking here yet. And he just gets so frustrated. Finally, he's like, come with me to Suncoast. Bitch, I own you. And we're like, did you just say what I think you just said?
That's right. That's where that came from.
Yeah, I don't even remember, but oh, laughed about that one for ages. Every so often, I'll still go ahead and throw something like that at him. So, yes, Sharon, I do remember the drive-in Connecticut. Oh boy. Anyway, so now that I gotta look back through the chat here and see what else I missed. Okay, I know Ristar, Snarb. What's the other one? Do you know what the other one is, Mike? And yeah, Sharon brings up bread stores, like the Hostess store they had in Connecticut.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had this great Hostess store in Connecticut where you just walk in. They had all sorts of breads and cupcakes, and it had the greatest smell when you walked into. It was always a highlight going there.
Mm.
Huh. I can look up a video. Oh, but there was, and speaking of stuff like Sbarro's and whatnot in the mall, I distinctly remember in the Crystal Mall they had a pizza place whose name escapes me. Maybe Sharon can help me. But they also had one of my favorite places ever, Boardwalk Fries.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was some good stuff back in the day too.
Yeah.
Appropriately, I do recall they had those on boardwalks.
Well, they actually had it in the mall here,
Sweet.
and it was just like, these are the best fries I've ever had in my life. Mo remembers the pizza place, just not the name.
Mm.
Arcades are hard to find anywhere now, Brandon. Now, in my case, there's actually an arcade. I'm going to say it's probably about 45-minute drive away from me, and it's more of a museum. But you can play everything that's there. Let's see. That's okay, Mo. Sharon, do you remember the name of the pizza place in the Crystal Mall? Because I don't. uh, Now, as there's at least three of us here who remember the Crystal Mall, does anyone know why it was called the Crystal Mall? Oh, Chuck E. Cheese's. I didn't get to go to one of those until I was like in my 40s.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mo. Yes, they had this giant crystal chandelier hanging up. I mean, this thing was monstrous. Yeah, Sharon didn't remember either. So, another inconsequential detail lost to time.
These things happen. $8.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, it was a at the time that area where the Crystal Mall was just this, you know, that's where like all the commerce in the area was. And I remember when they put a Toys R Us in just down the road. That was crazy. And I think it's some kind of medical place now because everybody grew up. There's no more Toys R Us kids.
Is that a song?
Might as well be. You never heard the original Toys R Us jingle they had in the 80s and 90s?
I probably did, but it's been some time.
It's like, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is.
I'm not sure if I remember that specific jingle very well, but it sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, that's crazy that the mall actually outlasted Toys R Us.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah, I bought so many games at Toys R Us over the years. In fact, I remember going and buying one day and getting a free issue of Game Pro #1. It was like a giveaway they were doing to
Very cool.
presumably to drum up interest in the magazine.
You know what? Video game publications like that are also kind of non-existent nowadays too.
Well, the legacy ones are definitely gone. Hot
Yeah.
and Now does not sound familiar to me. KB Toys, Prime and I were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
And
there was a KB in our old mall.
mhm.
I
and
remember playing a demo of Tekken 3 there and just spamming the kick buttons repeatedly as Eddie Gordo because that was the thing you did at Tekken 3.
you said that was a
Times.
KB?
Yeah. They had it on demos, I recall, just right out in front of the store.
Well, if I remember correctly, KB opened up with the mall in the Crystal Mall. And for the first few years, I was going there looking for like GI Joe and Transformers, and looking at other stuff that I wanted but couldn't get, like GoBots and Inhumanoids.
Cool.
But then they were also one of the places that had a ton of video games they were trying to clearance out. Oh, nice. Yes, Sharon Babbage's was a great store. But
Yeah.
I distinctly remember this about the KB in the Crystal Mall in the late 80s. Right behind the registers, there was a plexiglass, you know, couple of plexiglass doors. And behind it, they had all the NES and Master System games. And PC stuff, too, I think. And then in a more accessible area, they had the 2600 and 7800 stuff. But right across from that, they had all the discount 2600 stuff. And guess what I found there?
Hmm?
Tax avoiders.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was like 50 cents or $1 or something like that. So I bought it.
Was it? I was going to say, was it still worth it even at that price?
Yeah, I had some fun with it. And yes, that photo that Prime found, it's like, wow. Walden Books. There was another one. I spent so much time in Walden Books.
Yeah, also same. I think I was one of those parasites that trolled the magazines up at the front, but
Mm.
they had all sorts of any
Fatness.
books that you could ask for. All the chicken soups for the soul that you could ever conceive was in Walden Books.
Walden Books and B. Dalton, I think, were the big ones.
Dalton, that does sound familiar as well. And also, this was
Hang
a
on a
little
sec.
later. Oh, what's that?
I got an interruption here.
Woozle Wuzzle?
Yeah, come here. I'm letting you come in.
Oh, doggo.
Oh no, no doggo. They're all
Cat.
dead.
Cato?
Let's see. Go on, say hi. Can you hear anything at all?
I don't think I can.
All right, come here, dummy. He's got a very large purr chamber, so you should be able to hear him.
Ah, shoot. Hang on. Let me turn something down on my end.
Okay.
Okay, go again.
Oh, he's going.
Oh yeah, no, no. Okay, I heard that one. Yeah, no, yeah, that's a cat, all right.
Yeah, it's Jonesy.
But in you. Aw,
Yeah, I'm taking a kitty break for a second.
aw.
He was pawing at my door like crazy, is what it is.
Yep, cats will do that.
Go on, Jonesy. You're the star now, so enjoy the attention that you can't hear.
So,
He's just happy to get attention right now.
aw.
All right, sir, you're going back out. You're done. You just want to go off and explore the room. Ready? One, two, go get him. All right, he's gone. He got his attention.
Nice.
But yeah, that was him. He at all three of our cats, he is the one that purrs the loudest.
That's fair. That's very fair.
But yes, he will. I'll be sitting here working on one of the books or trying to play a game or watching a movie. All of a sudden, I'll just hear no claws, just pad, 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 pad on my door. Yeah, kitty ASMR. Anyway, but right around it was in the mid '90s is when I started. They had a whole bunch of the Star Wars expanded universe books, and they were doing a shitload of Star Trek books.
Oh,
So,
cool.
oh yeah. So
Oh,
he always does.
before the cat came in, I want to mention, are you familiar with another bookstore by the name of Borders?
Yes.
Yeah, those are a little later than Walden and Dalton, but yeah, Borders was like, I really liked it a lot, but it was also like practically my brother's second home for
Hmm.
as long as it existed. Just the chill atmosphere they had, and they had many books and musics, and usually like a little cafe section to sit in the meanwhile. And yeah, yeah, Borders was really cool, and he kind of felt like a part of himself died when they went belly up. So
And Star Trek Books a Million is still around. We actually have one that's about half hour drive from me.
cool.
There, another place I miss is Media Play.
Media Play. I'm not sure if I remember that place.
I can tell you, Patrick is here right now. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I love Media Play."
Mmm,
It
sweet.
it was basically a giant combination bookstore, movie, video game store.
Anything you can ask for. Sweet.
Yeah, I remember actually trying the 32X for the first time there
Very nice.
and seeing books based on Doom.
Well, hey, there you go. Well, like I know that the most famous book relating to Doom that isn't like, a strategy guide or a technical manual is
Hmm.
this one. I believe it was 2003 by the name of Masters of Doom, which was basically the chronicle of the rise and kind of fall of id Software, and it was a pretty fascinating read on the whole. Well, what can I really say about it? Well, yeah, while it's interesting to see the lead up and whatnot, I think the part I was most interested in was John Romero's attempt to break off and make his own game studio, Ion Storm, and how much of a disaster that was.
Now this was actually a story.
Oh?
So it was like, not exactly a novelization of the game, but, it related to it somehow.
Oh, the one where the protagonist got the name Flynn Taggart. I remember this now.
Ah, okay. All right, so going back through here, that would have been the one in Daytona, Sharon. And yeah, what Prime is saying about Media Play, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of them at Media Play. And I know that place was still open. I think it was still in the early 2000s because I remember going there with my girlfriend at the time. think. All I know is it closed down not too long after that. I could name a few CDs I picked up there. And I remember the two 32X games I played there that they had in their kiosk.
Oh, if you're talking about places with kiosks, there is another store that I could bring up, and this feels like one that I might have talked about on a past stream at any point. But have I ever extolled the virtues of Funko Land?
No, but I have been to Funko Land. Several Funko
Hmm.
Lands.
Yeah, we had a really damn good one. Like I guess it was like the early to mid 2000s, and this was actually the place that helped me build up my all too late but better late than never Genesis collection. I think it was actually where I first got a Sega Genesis, and the first three games that I got with it were the first Sonic, the first Streets of Rage, and well, Gunstar Heroes, a game that seems to keep coming up tonight, but it's a great game, so why not?
Well, I can tell you that I still own one of the games I bought at Funko Land.
Oh, which one?
Road Rash.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
You
Uh,
mean the only Transformers movie, right, Prime?
yep.
Hey, Jay, feel
Except
free to lurk all you want.
yeah, no problem, man. You're not obligated to say anything. You can just listen if you want. But yeah, you're talking about games on demo. I remember that my Funko at some point had, of all things, if you can believe it, Splatterhouse 3 on demo. And this is like the early 2000s, not even a contemporary game. They were proud of the retro stuff there. And like back in the 2000s, I recall retro collecting was just like big because, people could actually feasibly do it. And, they had these
Yeah.
papers that, listed their like standard prices for games from yesteryear. Like the only one I remember cracking the 100 barrier was Dragon Warrior 4, or, well, Dragon Quest 4 is the case may warrant. And, like, everything else, just because that one was, like, really rare and I guess, like, expensive, but, like, everything else was, relatively within reason. And,
Mm-hmm.
Funko really helped me get into retro collecting and just, like, building up games from the 8 and 16-bit eras physically. And Funko died, and now retro collecting fucking sucks ass. And
Yep.
the world is poor for it, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah. But I can tell you the two games for the 32X I played at Media Play. I
Yeah.
distinctly remember the first one I played was Star Wars Arcade.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I remember playing that one as well.
I
I don't
rem-
think I was very good at it, but it was pretty neat.
I remember hearing Admiral Akbar in the cutscenes for the first time and just laughing my head off because it sounded like, watch out for enemy fighters.
What? He sounded like some sort of Brooklyn Hood. What?
Exactly.
Wow.
Load it up sometime. You'll see what I mean.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Attention all craft. Prepare to go into hyperspace. Something
Very
like that.
nice.
The other was, believe it or not, Knuckles Chaotix.
Oh shit, that weird one.
Yeah, it is weird. But, yeah, just so much stuff that's all gone now. They've been repurposed as, thrift stores and Goodwills and discount submarine warehouses.
I mean, I wouldn't even mind if they all became thrift stores and Goodwills, and I appreciate that those exist, but there seems to barely be anything
Yeah.
of worth in even thrift shops nowadays. It's just like,
Well, you know
you
why?
know, all the cool stuff's gone, and we only have scraps to try and play off of. It's like
Yep.
we don't even have our fucking bread and circuses anymore in this increasingly dystopian bullshit future. It sucks, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah. So let's talk
But
about.
I'm getting a little real, so I'll shut up now.
Yes. I think IKEA is still around, yes.
Oh yeah. No, I was at one a few years ago. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. The thing. Yeah.
Well, that just brings me to something else that's a lot of which has vanished. Now, I don't eat out a lot. I used to all the time way back when, but I don't very much anymore.
Hmm.
And yeah, the resellers scrape the Goodwills and similar stores clean. That's exactly what happens. But I remember so many different restaurant chains which existed that are all gone. Like, yeah, I know before we started the stream, you'd mentioned one in particular I remember seeing, but I don't think I ever went to.
Yeah, it was one by the name of the Ground Round, which, huh? I'll be damned. Apparently, it was somewhat related to Howard Johnson's hotels. Apparently, there are still a very few locations of the Ground Round, but it went for Chapter 11 in the 2000s, and it is as a chain pretty much defunct. So
Sharon,
that's too bad. I wish I could remember their menu much, but I remember our family liked it quite a bit.
Sharon, I already talked about KB's. I don't know where you've been. Yeah, the ground. I just remember seeing it. If we ever actually went, the memory is scrubbed from my head. But I do also remember, and this technically qualified as fast food. In fact, I remember the location in Groton in particular. Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips.
Creatures. Not sure if I remember any of those.
Yeah, well, I think by the time you're old enough to appreciate it, is stuff that was just being phased out.
Poop.
But,
Oh,
wow.
several others have good vibes for the Ground Round. Very nice.
Yeah.
I seem to remember that our Ground Round actually had actually, it may have just been in the nearby mall, but for some reason I remember there was a Captain America and the Avengers beat 'em up machine in one of them. I might be conflating that with the mall that was just next to, but I see. I have a distinct memory of Red Skull laughing ominously at us. So,
I was a little
uh,
too old for Pogs, Brandon, so I have no real memories of them. Except for Alf. He's back in Pog
yeah,
form.
in Pog form.
But they really, at the ground round you went to, Prime, they actually were playing the black and white Batman serials from the 40s.
Crazy.
Yeah. But Arthur Treacher's was a pretty good place to eat, though. It's like, I don't remember being too greasy like a lot of fish and chips places can be.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, it had a very, old timey English feel to it.
Old timey, fun timey.
Yeah, green stamps, they're gone. I don't remember jack about green stamps.
Not sure I remember that name either.
Ah, Prime New Arthur Treachers.
Hush puppies are good things.
Yeah.
I had some just a few days ago. They're still very delicious. I could swear that one of you guys liked hush puppies.
Yeah, just thinking about some other chains and stuff that are long gone. There was Lums, if anyone remembers that. Lums.
All I can think of with that name is Lumno Wedding Bell.
Based on Outlanders.
Uh-huh.
But no, this was, I remember the decor looked kind of like, 1910s kind of thing. Like they were going for like a small town turn of the century eerie kind of thing. And if I remember correctly, their claim to fame was their hot dog. I could be remembering wrong. But we used to hit Lums on vacation when we go. So they were still thriving to a degree in the 80s.
Cool.
And they were gone after that. But now here's one that's a very specific restaurant, only in one place, which is long gone now. I think it burned down or something like that, and they just never reopened it. or it was sold. I don't know. All I know is it doesn't exist anymore. It was up in New Hampshire, and it was called the Green Ridge Turkey Farm. I don't know when my parents discovered it. It had been around since I think like the 30s or something like that. And it was, well, there was a turkey farm there at one point. I think it was actually still there when they had the restaurant. So that's where they got all their turkey from. And it was a nice place to eat. You know, it definitely had a older vibe to it.
Cool.
And it's pretty good seafood. And they had a model of a huge tom turkey right out in front, which may have actually been a real one that they taxidermied. I don't know.
Oh, damn.
And I mean, this thing was, a good couple feet tall.
Mm.
Oh, the Lums was in Norwich, huh, Sharon? Yeah. Having lived in Norwich not too terribly long ago, I know for a fact that's definitely gone. But it was also one of those places, too, where it's like behind the cash register, you could also pick up little candies and stuff. Like, candy buttons, right?
I think so.
Which sounds like a porn star name, but candy
It does,
buttons.
yes.
They're like those little fruit flavored candy drops on paper. You could get those
Hmm.
there. And they also offered, your complimentary after dinner mints and so on and so forth. And they had a little bar in there too, which was off to the side. I always wanted just to go look inside, but I never could. It's like a bar lounge kind of thing. But we would usually go up there, at least once a year. And my parents always had to stop there. So I wasn't going to complain. After all, it was on our way to Santa's Village.
Hey, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the Great American Steakhouse that was in New London is gone. That was a pretty good place. I remember when that opened in the mid 80s. And I don't remember too much about it, but I remember enough. I also remember next door there was a convenience store that had Moon Patrol.
Oh, nice.
It's interesting how I can tie a lot of these memories in with like games.
Hmm.
It's like taking when we take our family trips each year, we go from Connecticut to Florida and back. The first year we flew, and then after that we drove every year. And it was always interesting. We'd stop at a hotel, and inevitably they'd have a gift shop for whatever state we were in, and they'd have a little arcade. First, some of those arcades were the first places I saw games like Dig Dug and Vanguard and uh, Baby Pac Man. So yeah, go ahead and try something with your mic again because you're kind of in the background.
Oh, sorry. I'm not speaking too terribly much at the moment. I'm just kind of letting you reminisce at the moment. But
My reminiscing is going to go ahead and just devolve into, random Grandpa Simpson here at some point. So please feel free to step in.
well, I mean, if we're talking about stuff that we remember that isn't around here anymore, besides arcades, which is still a large hole in my heart, at least. Yeah, even some of the major department stores went tits up, like Sears and J.C. Penney. They were both pretty big wheels,
Oh yeah.
and they'd be like the big anchor stores in the malls that I knew about. And like for some reason, Boscov's is still alive. I don't know how they won the Hunger Games of department stores there, but
Oh,
uh, yeah, no, lots of stuff that you get there. Basically anything. They all had their own electronics and video game sections as well, among other things. So
mm-hmm. I remember the Sears video game section.
Yeah, yeah, I do
That
too.
that was something for a while. And of course, if you want to talk about other things, well, have to bring up Kmart. I remember for a while
Yeah.
they were selling used games for a while.
That was where he got, was it Ninja Gaiden 3 or was it?
That's a different story.
Oh, my
Uh,
bad.
what I got used wise when they started carrying used stuff,
Yeah.
uh, I actually got Gunneck.
Nice. That game's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kmart was certainly something. But yeah, Caldors is another one that I remember. There was
Mm.
also
Oh,
Say what?
yeah, Heckingers. I remember that name from back then as well. Wait, Prime Boscov's does not have venture capital, so I don't know how business works, but I guess they won by not doing anything or whatever. How those Luigi wins videos go in the Mario Party and whatnot.
But yeah, if you're talking about Ninja Gaiden 3, that was a different story because it wasn't a Kmart. You got that part right.
Mm.
But what had happened was this is during the getting towards the practically towards 2000 here. I was looking through the games they had in the electronics section. You know, a lot of PlayStation stuff, N64, so on and so forth. And it was one of those where they had the big plexiglass things you could flip through. You know, so I'm looking through all this stuff, and I spot Ninja Gaiden 3, and I'm like, what the hell? I see the price is like $59.96. And it's like, okay, that's wrong. So I go get the cashier who was working the electronics department, and she comes over and she pulls the game out, scans it, nothing comes up. Tries it again, nothing comes up. Calls the supervisor over. He does the same thing. And then he looks at it and he's like, where'd you find this? So bring him back over to the spot, and he sees it's a different game listed there. And as it turns out, they hadn't carried Nintendo games, the original NES, there in several years. And he's like, this must have been missed when we sent our remaining stock back. And well, I can't send it back. I just can't sell it to you for that price. I'll give it to you for $12. Yep, sold. I had been looking for a copy of that for a while. I didn't care what shape it was in. All of a sudden, I had a brand new copy just fall into my lap. It was great.
Awesome.
Yeah, Kmart. I do miss Kmart too.
Yeah.
I remember some of the other ones they had where I grew up were Zehrs, and I think that was replaced by Ames or vice versa. And there was also a hardware place called Benny's. I found it. That was a place where they actually had a lot of really good toys, like Macy's.
That was also a major store, and
Yes, it was.
hmm.
And here they were gloating because it killed gimbals.
Gimbals is gone, Marge. Long gone. You're Gimbals.
Exactly. But no, Benny's had. I was there when they first started rolling out the GI Joe reboot, I guess you could say, in '82, and that was that was one of the first places I ever got any GI Joe figures.
Hmm.
Yeah, Circuit City. That's another one. But they also had a bunch of Star Wars stuff there. They eventually had some of the smaller Transformers. And not quite Benny and the Jets. But now there's a story that Sharon likes to tell. And you're going to laugh at this one, Mike.
What's up?
It involves Styx's album, Kilroy Was Here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I must hear this now.
Well, Sharon wanted that album for Christmas.
Nice.
So I was out with my parents one day when they were doing some Christmas shopping, and I saw Benny's cassette rack there. They didn't. I mean, they had a couple of these larger closed racks of cassettes, and my dad looks through. He's like, I don't see this album she's looking for. So I'm like, well, let me take a look. So I get up, I start looking through everything, and then like way down at the bottom in the corner, and the printing on the side of the cassette was so small you could really only make out the name of the band. But I was like, Styx Kilroy was it? Yeah, I found it. So sure enough, they got it. She got it for Christmas. She was happy. Everybody won.
Yeah.
It was because of my
Except.
eagle eyes at the time.
Mm.
My eyes are no longer eagle-like.
Mine kind of still are. Don't know how much longer I want to keep up with that, but I'm still
Well,
pretty proud of them.
don't forget, not only did I eventually go nearsighted, but I had eye surgery.
That's right. That really sucked last year. I remember that was a huge process, to say the least.
I had an appointment with the doctor yesterday, and he dilated my eyes. I got a light shined in them, and then we had to go grocery shopping after that. And here it is at like 1 in the afternoon, and I'm looking as we're driving, and everything just looked like it was white.
Dang.
Yeah, I had to close my eyes for half that trip, but it's okay. They're back to what I could consider normal now.
Good.
Yeah. So I'll be going through some additional surgery in the near future.
Well, that's fantastic, huh?
Well, they're going to take the silicone oil out of my eye and replace it with saline, so it'll be more natural.
Hmm. Interesting.
So my vision should improve at that point.
Well, that's good at least. But
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's not going to require you to like sleep in an uncomfortable position for another month.
According to the doctor, it's not.
Thank fuck. That
Yeah.
sounded like I'm not sure if I could physically do that. Like I just wouldn't sleep. I just keep going on till I collapse in the middle of the road or something.
That first week was absolute murder.
It sounded awful. Yeah,
I
Jesus.
had to sleep face down the whole time. I could not sleep on my side. And when I was out of bed, I had to look down all the time. I spent a lot of time on my phone that week.
Yeah, I remember that. At least you had something to kind of at least contain your sanity, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes, Mo, I guess one could say I'm getting my blinker fluid changed.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, this time at least, if for some reason I do have to look down, and he said that my retina is basically completely reattached.
Cool.
So, but at least this time I would have something else to do besides just look at my phone. I got Trey a short while ago. I got it sitting next to me here in its own little case. One of those R36S portable consoles.
Hmm.
So I can run arcade games, NES, Super NES, Genesis Master System, TurboGrafx. Uh, it's very handy. And it's a nice
Sweet
little
deal.
unit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and just for the hell of it, I put Game Gear on here too.
Oh, sweet.
It's like, well, finally, I have a portable system for the first time since my Game Gear. uh, but yeah, as you can tell from what we've been talking over the past, 45 minutes or so, there's a lot of shit that's gone. And Mo, hope you have a good night.
Oh, see you later, Mo. As always, thank you for stopping in. Great to see you.
Yep, and pet Faye, if you would.
Faye now? What?
Mo has a kitty named Faye.
Aw. Yes. Give Faye some attention. I'm sure they're adorable.
Yes. And
I'm a cat person. What can I say?
I still remember the cat she had when she got Faye, Chad. He was a he was a Maine Coon, and he was a very friendly kitty.
Aw.
So, but yeah. See now, let me put this down to a vote here. we had an idea a while back, Snarb and myself, that we could actually do a stream about pets. And I'm still considering doing it. I got plenty of funny stories about pets. So if anyone would be interested in this kind of a stream, let me know in the chat. And yes, Chab is a very awesome cat.
Honestly, I really like the idea of the stream per se. There's just one problem. I never owned a pet, so I literally cannot participate in it. So I'm going to have to take the night off if we do that, which I'm sure some of you would be okay with that.
I expected you'd say yes, Mo.
But, yeah, sharing it, like, there's still enough physical commerce in the world that it doesn't feel like totally and absolutely fucked. And I won't lie, there has been some degree of convenience in online shopping that I have
That's two now.
indulged in. So maybe two net. Oh, what? Huh? What?
Prime would like to see a pet stream too.
Oh, awesome. Yes, yes. Yeah. But yeah. Things are admittedly pretty bleak. It's not helping that
Good night, Mo.
yeah, good night, Mo. You take care. It's not helping that even like the online storefronts are being like corrupted by the great new buzzword AI, which I am so fucking sick of hearing about every goddamn day on the hour. But
Well, the thing that got me was that it occurred to me earlier, and it's not something I haven't thought about before, but it's like after mine and Prime's generation and Mike's generation and probably a good chunk of your generations are gone. Because I'm assuming we all fit into one of like either Gen X or millennials or whatnot. Once we're gone, no one's going to remember this shit.
well, I mean, you think there's some stuff in the Victorian era that isn't remembered nowadays? 'Cause
Absolutely.
yeah, I try not to worry too much about that. The whole thing about things that we like not being remembered because it just kind of feels inevitable and unavoidable. The least I can ask is that at least some of it gets remembered, and I don't think that there's any that like the likes of
This is Bruce Narb.
yes, exactly. Like Kmart or Funko or whatever are ever going to be completely gone. There are still memories, and it's not like the first emperor of China who ordered all historical buildings destroyed and all scribes killed because the past is the past and we don't need it anymore or anything like that. Again, I don't want to get very political, but at least things aren't that bad yet. Maybe, but
Well, my point is that there will be a time when everyone who remembers this stuff will be gone, so there won't even be memories. It's
well,
like, take for example, my girls. They're going to remember malls, but they're going to remember them as malls in decline. They won't remember the heyday.
Unfortunate point.
Thanks for the memories, but if there's no one left to remember the memories, that's what I'm talking about.
And we'll be dead by then anyway, so not to sound flippant, but I kind of don't give a shit. I'm sorry.
Well, all right, then I'll ask you this. Do you brought up the Victorian era before?
Yeah.
Do you remember one of the big fads they had during the Victorian era? I don't because I wasn't there, but I've read about it.
Oh, you're thinking of the specific fad in this case?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Frilly collars?
No, people taking pictures with dead people.
Oh. This sounds vaguely I remember they did that in the Wild West era. Actually, that was pretty popular then too.
Yeah, well,
as I recall.
it led into the Victorian era because they were still doing it then.
Yeah, exactly.
That who here could say that they remember the heyday of the great steamships?
I suppose not.
I went on them all, especially that big one that hit an iceberg. Yes.
Yeah, and then it came back to New York when Vigo was gathering all the slime in the world that he could.
Well, better late than never.
Yep. I like
Yes.
Ghostbusters too, darn it.
So wait, Sharon, who said it then? They or Bob Hope?
Mm. I mean, I can't say that I'm necessarily concerned about things we remember not being remembered. It is what it is, and like it can't necessarily be helped. Although I do understand that maybe there's some helplessness and frustration with aspects of our lives just kind of fading into oblivion. As they just become mere indistinguishable grains in the sand and whatnot. I do get all of that as being as unfortunate as it is. So I just
This,
think,
I will
what?
tell you, this is why I wrote the majority of the books that I did already.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly. If nothing else, there are people that will preserve as much as they can, if not everything. I mean, you know what? Fuck, I can even bring up something relevant. I remember I posted I told you about that one giant like file sharing site Myriant that is now officially dead and gone for really unfortunate and bullshit fucking socio-political reasons and costs of shit and whatnot. And it Myriant now is gone, but there were some dedicated people who at least took it upon themselves to keep circulating the tapes, and they downloaded pretty much everything they could, and it was a fairly concentrated effort. And this one effort in particular, known as the Minerva Project, I believe, saved absolutely everything that it could from Myriant. Unfortunately, is being distributed only as torrents, and I have no interest in doing that. But it at least the effort went into making sure that the stuff that was on Miriam didn't entirely fade away. And we have at least people who can pride themselves as historians about all aspects of culture that will ensure that at least the cool stuff that was worth remembering is not going to be completely forgotten. If there's a silver lining, as MST3K said, like they said at some point, like at the end of every episode, keep circulating the tapes, and that seems like a lesson that almost everyone I know will continue to take to heart. So yeah,
You are you are part of the circus of Doctor Lou.
what?
That
What?
was from Joel's last episode, but go on.
Oh yeah, yeah, Mitchell, right, right, of course.
Hmm.
Shit. Like this is try why like I do really do my best to not get down about the modern state of things, even though it is really easy to do so, and unfortunately some days I do kind of beck into despair and I become extremely whiny and doomy, and people have to talk me away from the proverbial ledge, which is never fun. But there are still things to like about modern life. There are some things that are gone, but I don't think everything's going to just be everything that we liked is just going to go completely to bunk. Like, nothing lasts, but nothing is lost. That was the title of a Spangle album. And stop me if I'm ranting at this point,
You're
but
ranting,
like,
Mike.
fuck me, god damn it. I'm sorry. That's probably just 5 minutes of bullshit that I just babbled about that was really vague. Um,
Well, let's address the giant elephant that's being discussed in the chat right now.
know. Do we have to?
You know, I will say this. As far as AI is concerned, I have used it myself, but only to create a little bit of reference art for the books I'm working on, just so I can get, if I need inspiration, I can just look at this image I came up with and had AI create and go, oh, yes, I can't forget about that. It's been a very interesting experimental process, too, but it's not something I rely on, and I certainly didn't use it to write any of the books. I would prefer to go ahead and not have to live with the whole AI thing the way it's going, though. But
Well,
I am
if it's
guilty of using it for stuff that's never going to see the light of day. It's strictly for my own reference.
mhm.
So,
If it's any consolation, I think that the bubble, so to speak, is primed to burst soon, and a lot of, big dick assholes who try to invest in this are going to hit a huge giant wall and splatter their heads on it soon. So, I am at least somewhat confident that things can and will get better, but I don't know. Am I just looking for Am I just looking for any sort of vague hope, just to keep from realizing that all hope is lost, and maybe I should just jump off a bridge tomorrow?
nah, I don't go that far. I will say
Okay,
this
sorry.
though: the I prefer actual human drawn art. You know,
I mean, I would hope most people would still, for
yes,
fuck's sake.
which is why I have asked Prime to go ahead and do the cover of Nothing Man.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
However, with the characters, that if there's no way. I mean, I can barely draw a competent stick figure, and
Yeah, me too.
I there is no way I could actually have the artwork for all the different characters in the book, you know, cranked out by one person. So, because that's basically what they are, is character studies. But yeah, it served my purposes for what I needed it for. I could really get less than two shits about it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Sucks. I'm gonna have to probably put a disclaimer at the beginning of the book going, "This book was entirely written by an actual living human being and not AI."
yeah. Well, I don't know. It's something I guess we're just going to have to wait to blow over.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't say when. I hope it's around the corner, but I couldn't say anything for sure.
Yeah. So,
I don't know. I'm trying to keep a list of things that have gone right this year. So far, I only have like three things on there. Um, let me see. Do I have it?
while you're
That's
thinking
not
of
it.
that, I'm gonna say this, Prime. Uh, you know, I've read about that, and it's really irritated me. Now, I made most of this the character study before I found out about that stuff. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't use it at all. So, yeah, it
One, the
hurts my
Patriots.
brain.
The Patriots lost to the Seahawks, so that's good. Two,
Really?
obscure and weird game by the name of Cookies Bustle finally got freed from copyright hell, which is a really good thing. And three, there's that recent, I believe, Artemis 2 thing. Like, I thought NASA almost fell into irrelevance, but hey, we have actual astronauts doing actual astronaut shit. That's cool, at least, right?
Yeah, that's cool. At least I'm all
Yeah.
about NASA doing space stuff and not unqualified morons with too much money.
Yeah, well, it's something.
All right,
I am
Eris, have a
hoping
good one.
to. Hey, see you, Eris. Sorry if this stream turned a bit downer right now, but hey, thank you for stopping in. You take care. Um, Yeah. So, there are still good things in life, even if it's starting to feel increasingly just like table scraps. But they're pretty good scraps at least. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
something.
yeah. But at least what I created is strictly going to be never published. There will be no illustrated with AI picture stuff in my book. I will contract I don't know how many different artists I have to get you know character art. I
That's
actually
cool. I
had
mean,
I had an artist actually, but unfortunately she just is burned out.
well, I mean, you somewhat are right now in writing, so it is what it is, right?
This is a temporary thing. She's been going through this burnout since November. She can't really draw much at all right now.
Ah, I see.
So, and I know Prime is swamped.
Yeah. Well,
So, with good reason. How does Sam put it every time he sees a new cover that Prime did for one of my books? Knocks it out of the park every single time.
of course he does. I mean, Prime's just great. What can I say?
And I feel like we're
Uh,
talking about him and he's right here.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I don't know what
yes.
else to talk about. I just want to go to a positive thing because I kind of feel like I'm getting sad again.
All
Um,
right. Well, let's talk something positive.
yeah, let's please.
Okay. On a positive side of things, hang on. I'm going to remember something. It's going to come to
Take your
me.
time. Take your time.
Let's see. Covered a bunch of stuff that's gone. Covered mom and pop video stores with porno sections. Uh, hey, no problem, Prime.
And no worries, man. If the audience would like to suggest something that we can talk about that isn't just existential, the 20s are the worst fucking thing ever, chat. I'm up for it.
I don't know. The Great Depression might have a few words you know, to say.
Well, I don't know. Like, financially, are things like as bad as that now?
Uh, not yet. Hasn't quite gotten that bad yet.
I'm a little surprised, but if you say so, I mean, sure.
Well, yeah. But let's not go into that. Retro games like Eartheon.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Eartheon's so damn cool. Uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, Snarb, that's right. There's this one game that's been released on Steam and possibly other modern consoles by the name of Haunted Lands, which has a visual appearance of like uh, an early to mid '90s, well, more so early '90s action game rendered in like MS DOS. Specifically, it looks a lot like Dangerous Dave and Monster Bash and Biomenace and other id and Apogee 2D titles.
huh.
But it does play quite a bit smoother than it looks, and the stages are actually a lot more extensive to explore than I thought they would be. Like, I want to call it like semi Metroid. It's not like a gigantic, full blown interconnected map, but like there are several stages to look into, and they all have a lot of secrets in them, and also quite a few, a very pretty vast enemy variety, and some really wicked bosses to take on. The game is not forgiving. It's pretty fucking goddamn tough,
Mm.
but Sarb and I really enjoyed playing through that one a lot recently. We haven't explored absolute. We haven't gotten like everything we can then, and there are like a few challenges that are just like really tough and insurmountable to deal with in them, but it's a pretty neat game. Haunted Lands being what it is, it's yeah, that that one's worth looking into if interested. And yeah, Prime. That's good to hear about Gen Z. At least
Yes.
uh, yeah, at least some of the youths get the idea nowadays. They're not
Hmm.
just, snarking about 6-7 or whatever the hot new lingo is. They actually get what's up and what needs to be preserved about about life of yesteryear. So that is
Hold
pretty
that
cool at
tiger.
least.
Hold that tiger.
What's that from again?
The 1920s.
Oh, well, 23 Skidoo and whatnot. Let's have
Exactly.
ourselves a hootenanny down the malt shop, the old jazz hole and flapper girls and all that.
The flappers.
Yep.
But now, when you say retro, like the way you do, Snarp, are you also talking about like homebrews and whatnot?
I assume so.
Oh, well, then now is a perfect time because, we were just talking about the 1920s and homebrew games. So now is the perfect time to talk about the Great Gatsby.
Okay, fine. I don't know why you like that game so much when you haven't even read the book.
I
I
think
mean, it's
it's just
not a bad
great.
game. It's just a really it's a short one, but
Yeah, I wish it was a little longer.
yeah. Uh,
There weren't.
Honestly, I don't like that story very much, but you should read it at some point to see what you actually think of it, I think.
Look, if there's no laser firing giant eyeglasses, no sale.
I've told you several times before that there's not.
No sale.
Okay, fine.
But
Can lead a horse to water, etc, etc.
but really, how many classic 2D games took place in the 1920s?
Mm. Uh, the closest thing I can think of, and even then, I don't think it's. Oh, actually, Snarb, doesn't Blood take place in the 1920s? Like, aside from Blood, the closest thing I can maybe think of is like Master of Darkness, but I think that was more like the 1890s or whatever. I
Yeah,
forget exactly.
about the time of Jack the Ripper, so 1880s.
Yes. Yes,
And
indeed.
you can't really count Dick Tracy either because that was the 30s.
Yeah, it was almost there, but yeah, yeah. Dick Tracy game for the Genesis is pretty cool. Really fucking difficult though.
And the ending's not worth writing home about.
No, it's not. So much effort to fucking get there. It was definitely much more about the journey.
But
uh,
regarding some other homebrew games, I do know that someone is currently working on a port of the arcade Phoenix to the Atari 7800.
hmm.
I've played the beta and it's really damn close.
Hmm.
I mean, they everything looks just like it did in the arcade game, with the exception of the star field, which is not there.
Oh, really now?
Hmm. I'm all for seeing more arcade ports like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But as far as like original properties, let me think. Well, there was the shooter ZPF, which,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
It feels very European, for better or worse.
For good reason at that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it actually is, but
yeah, but at least the popcorn enemies explode with one hit.
that's good, at least.
Yeah, Phoenix and Scramble, man. I've played two homebrew versions of Scramble, and both of them are great.
Nice.
Let's see. But as far as other homebrew stuff besides ZPF, let's see. There's one I've been following called Black Jewel Reborn.
Oh, really now?
Yeah, that's a neat little kind of side scrolling barbarian game with some cool stuff that's going on. The characters are
Hmm.
on the small side, but they're very nicely animated.
Huh.
And your life bar is basically represented by your character's portrait. So every time you get hit, part of your head is gone, and you can see the skull underneath.
Oh, that's a very DOS-like thing. I think
Yeah,
that's basically like the Catacomb 3Ds way of doing things.
Yep, and Snarb knows what I'm talking about.
Black Jewel. Yeah, I can't remember if I ever played Black Jewel in any form myself.
Hmm.
Let me see. I played Jewel Master, but that's a completely different thing.
That I was disappointed in that game.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
well.
it just did not click with me.
Well, these things happen. $8. Oh yeah, this game
Mm-hmm.
looks Commodore 64 is balls. And yeah, that guy looks a lot like Roston. The game over screen has some sort of skull face executioner holding his decapitated head. How unfortunate.
Sucks to be him.
And how? Wah,
Of
wah, wah.
course, if you want to go back a little ways, there's stuff like Tanzer.
Oh yeah, that one I really like the style of. It's really this weird, creepy, freakish, like organic robot retro style. I don't know how better to put it. It feels like something out of like some sort of 90s action cartoon like Aeon Flux or something like that. And the style is really impressive. But the game is just so ball-kickingly unforgiving. I don't think
Oh yeah.
I've ever beaten the second zone, and there are 8 of them. Jesus Christ.
Well,
It also basically allows for like no continues, which is kind of bullshit in
yeah.
my opinion. But
Well,
oh
there
well.
was. I remember that Spider-Man game.
Oh, nice.
It was one of the few games we actually had that we could run on the IBM compatible computers we had in high school.
You know, this one sounds familiar. Wasn't Captain America also playable in this one? Or am I thinking of a different game?
I don't know enough about it to tell you. All I know is I could never even get past the first stage in that Spider-Man game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But Tanzer, I know, was inspired by both Strider and Shadow of the Beast.
Oh yeah, no, I could definitely see both of those. I could definitely especially see the Psygnosis influence in its overall design.
Yeah. And of course, then this one's been around long enough that everyone knows it now and it's been ported to almost everything. Xenocrisis.
Yeah, no, Xenocrisis is that game I still haven't gotten extremely far into. It's really damn tough, but it is really stylish, I must say.
Yeah, they really that could have been an official release back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Very polished.
Yeah, neat. Unforgiving though. I'm not sure I've ever beaten the first boss without dying yet. I maybe should give it more of a crack someday.
I have beaten him a couple times without dying.
That's good at least.
I also have, as you know, there's, about the MSU1 thing they have for the Super NES, right?
Yeah, that's like the that's the thing that allows them to port NES games to Super NES, is it?
Basically, you can play the game with having an actual soundtrack in there.
Oh, really now?
Yeah, like someone took the Super Star Wars games and put John Williams' actual score.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And, I remember seeing ads for the Spidey and Cap versus Doctor Doom and the two X-Men games. Remember seeing a lot of
Yeah.
ads for those, as well as that Batman game they had at the time.
Oh, dang.
I think it was Batman the Cape Crusader.
We already did have a superhero game stream, didn't we?
Yes. Long time ago
Yep.
now, though.
Yeah, and I think Prime was on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes. Uh,
Moist.
but what were we just talking about before you mentioned that?
Uh, Xenocrisis?
Yeah, well, something Xenocrisis related, I think. But yeah, look at it.
The MSU whatever.
That's it. Thank you. MSU1. Well,
That's it.
there is an MD MSU as well.
Oh?
So they did the same thing for the Genesis.
Hmm.
However, there's a lot fewer Genesis MD MSU or MD Plus games, I guess you'd call them, than there are Super NES ones. But the ones they have are good. and I found a way to go ahead and actually insert my own soundtracks in if I want to.
That's cool.
I took the entire score from Xenocrisis and replaced it with nothing but metal tracks.
Hmm, sweet.
And considering that in the original game, the second stage is actually a chiptune version of an actual metal song.
Really?
Yeah, I just went and put the original song in.
Which song was that be?
Uh, I'd have to look it up. I don't have it handy.
Hmm.
I think it might have been. Well, the band was Sky Harbor, I think.
I'm sure I know him.
Yeah, they're an Indian metal band actually.
Cool.
So, but it's a pretty kick-ass song they chose. Uh,
Hmm. Good deal.
I also took the MD Plus port of Afterburner and actually put an appropriately 80s soundtrack in there.
You mean like Mighty Wings from Top Gun or whatever?
Well, I didn't put Mighty Wings, but I did put Danger Zone.
Nice. Very nice.
And that's the first song that plays when you launch from the carrier.
Sterling Archer would be proud.
uh,
And yeah, Prime,
yeah.
I do recall that unfortunate trend that got annoying for a while. That's kind of when I think like indie games of the modern day were, kind of just finding their footing and not really like not exactly sure what they were yet, but uh, yeah, that was a bit of an annoying time. I wish I can remember any to call out and as being like that and dismiss it as inauthentic, but I'd be hard pressed to tell you any actual examples. Maybe Snarbu can help if you know of any quote unquote retro games that weren't really all that retro.
Well, there's a lot of ones that they try and go for an NES aesthetic, but they'll use like way too many colors or uh, you know they have to do stuff the NES could never do, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm. Uh, but now getting back to that Afterburner thing, it's like I decided the best way to go about that would be to let's say I put a couple of tracks from Top Gun in there, a couple of tracks from Transformers the movie, and I think even a song from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice.
Uh, and I also actually managed to make because someone had done an MD Plus version of Strider. And then someone else did using the voice clips from the arcade cutscenes, but not the correct music. So
Oh.
I was able to figure all that out. Now I've actually got the cutscenes with the arcade music.
Oh, neato.
The only thing it's missing to be, it would be absolutely perfect if it had it, would be All Sons of Old Gods Die.
Couldn't put that in somehow.
Well, if I could swap it out for the Mega Drive version, it would have it. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, that requires some programming.
Damn.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was saying with the NES stuff. How it's like, yeah, this is like an NES game, and it's like, then why do all these characters look like they stepped out of a 16-bit game, and the music sounds like something else, and so on and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it turns out there were a lot of decent MD Plus uh, games that were made. It's almost like people are making their own Sega CD games in a way, which is
Yeah,
pretty neat when you think about it.
with all their FMVs and whatnot.
Now, that's the one thing they didn't include. Now, I've seen a few of the Super NES MSU1 games that actually have included video.
Oh wow, really?
Yes, Infidelity, he created his port of Contra to the Super NES and actually made his own intro movie.
My fucking gosh, I've never seen that. Holy shit.
And well, here's the kicker. All he did was take a couple of select scenes from Predator and First Blood Part 2.
Okay, that's actually kind of hilarious. It's almost cute. Obviously, that's obviously something that wouldn't have flown for real back in the day, but
Right.
that's a pretty neat little extra mile to go for.
So, yeah, because it's cool because, because apparently, Bill is supposed to be Schwarzenegger and Lance is supposed to be Stallone.
Yeah. Oh, hey, here's an idea. Maybe someone can make a video port for the Predator NES game.
That'd have to be some demand for that, I think.
What a time! What a
Yeah.
matter!
But the other ones I've seen have been like the Capcom Disney games using the intros from the TV shows.
Oh wow, that's
Hmm.
pretty cool.
It's like you play the MSU1 version of DuckTales, it opens up with the actual opening from DuckTales.
Very nice.
He also fixed a few things in that the NES wasn't capable of doing. Like Scrooge is now wearing the appropriate colors,
Oh, neat.
and Huey, Dewey, and Louie each have their own separate colors as well. Before,
Cool.
yeah, before that, I think it was just like there was two of them wearing the same color.
Whoops.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that brings to mind something, Prime. Uh, remember seeing someone once describe Gradius 3 and 4 for the PS2, saying that it was ports of a couple old Super NES games. And it's like, okay, prove you just proved to me you've never ever even heard of Gradius at this point.
Jesus Christ.
Because now I could understand you could confuse the arcade and Super NES versions of Gradius 3. It's easy enough.
Three at least,
Mm-hmm.
but
4, there's no way in
yeah.
hell.
What the fuck? How did that even? Like, if the SNES could do that sort of stuff, it would have to be like custom chipped up to all fucking hell. Like, the only
Mm-hmm.
game I could think of that would maybe be anywhere near to that level of relative graphical fidelity would maybe be Rendering Ranger.
Exactly. So that review completely lost all credibility from the moment they said that, and I just exited out.
Yeah,
So
boy.
yeah, uh,
I mean, if there is something to be said about the state of games and entertainment nowadays, it does feel like people have a lot more respect and reverence for what would be considered "quote unquote" retro, or if nothing else, they at least bother to actually do their research and not just blow something off as being quote old and thus therefore not worth their time, because it did feel like for a while, like even as soon as like the late 90s and definitely throughout the 2000s, it kind of felt like quote unquote 8-bit and so forth games were like vilified in favor of more realistic 3D looking shit that they apparently just thought was the new thing to be paying attention to. And hey, that old stuff is it looks like kitty shit. So have these games now that are made in fucking Unreal Engine 3 without any color because it's realistic, because it's gritty.
yeah,
And at least we seem to be past that hurdle. At least people can, love old school Castlevania and Contra and Gradius for what it is and recognize what it is as well. So That's one upside, if nothing else.
And Prime, I don't think they had any editors which tackled the reader reviews on GameFAQs, which is what this was.
Oh, it was a wild west of bullshit. I mean, I like whenever these FAQs from back in the day like get into some really unnecessarily flowery prose, and
Yeah,
I'm sure the reader is like, "All right, pal, just tell me about where to get this fucking key, okay?"
yeah,
Like they're Dennis Leary or whatever. Oh, and also whenever any FAQ writers get unnecessarily horny, like, oh wow, what a babe, hubba hubba. It's like, what the fuck am I reading this for? I want to know where this bullshit is. What's with these interjections or whatever? I mean, it's like it's not that should have been denied from completely leaving out their personality or whatever, but it's like just some FAQs would just go into these weird fucking whatever tangents that I find kind of hilarious in retrospect, but like, yeah, no, there was almost no vetting for them back in the day. I mean, I
mm-hmm.
imagine eventually that some of them like maybe were rejected for just having a lot of like too much bullshit in them, but like not nearly enough. Yes, Snarb, I do appreciate that beat 'em ups have more respect now than they did, 10 or so years ago. And it's, yes, it's, yeah, no, I really do love beat 'em ups. Like, I kind of went on a bit of a crazy spree where I was playing all the ones by Capcom and even all the ones by Irem lately, trying to see which characters I thought worked the best for me and whatnot. And that was a really fun time. So,
Speaking of the game facts and whatnot, I remember another review, which it's like, how do you even qualify yourself to write this review?
uh-oh. What's up?
Well, this person is like the review is titled like Contra 3, a game that only adrenaline junkies and blah 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 would enjoy, and it's like, all
Oh,
right,
what the fuck?
I'll read it. Right in the first paragraph, they're like, I only play RPGs, but lately I had the need to play as this testosterone pumping, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, and you pick Contra 3, and probably because of you're playing nothing but RPGs, you have virtually no reflexes, and you're judging the game based on your own ability to totally suck ass at it.
Yeah.
Bravo.
It's funny because I've kind of been on a bit of an RPG kick lately myself, but yeah, if you're going to write a review that goes out to a general audience, I think maybe you should at least try to do your research more of the thing that you're trying to tap more into, or if you're like writing for a special site, if it's like a project, hey, RPG gamer now plays action games, that could be a decent premise, but
Mm-hmm.
just submitting something as a review for what it is to game FAQs, whatever, for something that is obviously way out of their depth. That is absolutely not the way to do that at all.
Yeah,
So
because of
I
course,
have no idea what they'd be thinking, just
well,
even trying that like that.
of course, because of their, you know, exactly how they put it, they gave Contra 3 the lowest score they could.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And it's like,
What did they rate it an A minus minus?
I think they rated it a 1 out of 10.
Go eat pant. That's all I can say.
Maybe a 2 out of 10 because of the music or something. I don't know.
Mm.
But Jay, you're right. It absolutely was bad. And Prime, why do I know that name?
What name is it? Oh yeah, right. Yoshihisa Kishimoto. He wasn't he the creator of Kunio and Double Dragon, or
That's why I know that name.
well, if not like the creators, like basically the brainchild. He'd be the beat 'em ups, what usually Hori would be to RPGs, and yeah, that sucks. He's only like in his 60s, if I'm not mistaken. Rest in peace. Like, we're really kickstarting it, like, if not inventing the genre, really popularizing it for well, the next decade or so. I guess, before fighting games mostly claimed it, but then they fell into irrelevance, and now beat 'em up seem to be liked by people again, so that's cool.
Yeah. I'm looking something up real quick here. So,
Oh, hey there, Wardito. Yes, yes. I believe, yeah,
oh
he
yeah.
was also behind the Combat Tribes, which is that game's underrated. I don't hear enough about it nearly enough.
Okay, let's see.
What else would they have made? What's another? Oh, Shadow Force is like Technos Japan's like basically almost nigh forgotten beat 'em up, and Shadow Force is some really fucking crazy shits. Like your characters have relatively extensive move lists, but they can also like morph into almost any enemy in the game, which each then have their own move lists as well. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Shadow Force, but shout out if you have played that one because that one is nuts. Wardito's familiar with Shadow Force. Yes, awesome. It is maybe almost an over-designed game, but I really fucking dig it. It's some really great shit.
I I found the review.
Uh-oh.
They did give it a 2 out of 10. They didn't like the music and the sound effects and everything, but this is how they summed it up at the end. Uh, all in all, Contra 3 can be summed up in one word: excess. This is what happens when crack addicts design a game. It's too spastic, too excessive, too much of a sensory overload. It's also, say it with me, too damn hard. This isn't challenging, it's overkill. You weren't actually supposed to get past level 1, and it shows. This game feels like a rush job with millions of minions to make it feel like you're being challenged.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
What the ever loving fuck? You want to talk about challenge, bitch? Go play Cobra Triangle. Don't talk to me until you've done that. Fuck you.
Well, it's also a 21-year-old review.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
they opened it with this line. After years of playing RPGs, something snapped inside of me. I just had to play a balls to the wall platform game. Yeah.
the wild fucking west of video game content. Seriously. Uh,
Yes, Jay.
what a time. What a
Now,
time.
I could flip that around on them. After years of playing awesome action games, something said, hey, why don't I play a really slow game that's turn based and full of story and dialogue and more dialogue and loads of menus and things.
All right. Well, hey, you actually enjoyed Final Fantasy 2/4 recently, so
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
can't say as a generality that RPGs are, you know,
no,
dumb.
no, not at all. This person clearly felt that way about Contra 3, though.
Yeah, yeah,
But,
and that's certainly bad form.
of course, I'm looking through all the reviews listed here. Uh, let's see. 9, 8, 9, 8, 8. There's a few Game Boy Advance ones mixed in here, but I'm going just by the Super NES ones here. Let's see. For Contra 3, 10, 8, 10, and a couple of 7s. Uh,
And then here comes this guy to sort of Armand White the grading curve or whatever.
mm-hmm. It's funny, though. All the Game Boy Advance ones are very negative, except for one.
Really?
Which, yeah, I don't know. From what I played of Contra Advance, it didn't seem that bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever played that port, but it is a bizarre sort of tack where it is like, 2/3 of Contra 3, but then the overhead levels, which by all accounts, seem to be the least popular parts of Contra 3 by most people I know. They were replaced by two of the levels from Hardcore. Specifically, they were both the levels that you go to if well, what was the pathway? The one that got you on the train. I think you had to go back to the cell, but then you had to surrender to Bahamut, and then that would get you on the train. And those two were the levels that were put into the
Yeah.
GBA version. And I don't know how well they translate alongside the rest of Contra 3 stages, but like it would be weird because the train level would technically be a late game level in Hardcore, and here it's the second level of the advanced port of Contra 3, so that seems like a little bit of a weird difficulty jag to me. I don't know. But again, I've never played it, so I'm just speculating.
And Jay, thanks. You were a big help with that, you know.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you got him to finish the second RPG in his life that he's ever beaten.
I'm glad I just got that albatross off from around my neck.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, four's still a great game. I was thinking of getting around to the Game Boy Advance ports of the SNES Final Fantasies just because I haven't played those before, and I want to see what their localizations are like.
Here we go again.
Quiet you.
No.
I've been on a Final Fantasy kick. What can I say? I actually recently.
Actually, not talking about you.
The cat, right, Josie?
Yes, Jonesy.
Hello, how's it going, little buddy?
Back, you big wiener. See, everyone listen real close.
So,
He'll start doing it eventually.
oh,
There he goes.
aww, friend.
He's right up against the mic practically. All right, you're leaving now. You got more attention, you can go. There, bye. That cat, I tell you, he thinks he's missing something in here.
Maybe he's trying to find religion. I don't know.
Well, in here, the religion is basically retro gaming and good movies and great music.
As well it should be.
Well, let me tell you, Jay, if there are any other RPGs I'm ever going to play through, it's going to be Splatterworld.
Yes. My brain's having a shit trip. What was the one other RPG in your life that you actually beat? Because I know you beat another one, but it's not coming to me right now.
Phantasy Star.
That was it. Yeah, a fucking course. Yeah.
The original.
Yes.
On the
I will
Master
say. I think you might enjoy Phantasy Star 4 if you were to get around to that one.
I tried.
It's also.
Actually.
Oh. Didn't take.
Yeah, it just wasn't clicking with me. I enjoyed watching it more than playing it.
Well, fuck. I don't know what to tell you then.
I've also seen 2 and 3 played extensively.
2 and 3 are a little bit more of an acquired taste. I mean, there's quite a bit I like about 2, but it is a brutally vicious game by RPG standards, and I wouldn't expect.
Have a good
hey,
night,
Brandon. Yeah, hey, thank you so much for stopping in. Take care, man.
And yes, Prime,
Good to
that's
see ya.
exactly how Jonesy operates. Ash,
Yep.
too, sometimes.
Yep, pretty much. But 2 is really difficult, and 3 among the fandom is a little bit of a debated game because it does this interesting thing where it like kind of passes down the action among like 3 generations, and that's a cool enough premise. But I think something about like the overall world and map and combat design felt a little limp compared to the other games for some people.
It's basically Phantasy Star, the side story.
It does feel more like a Gaiden compared to 1, 2, and 4. That is a good point.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it follows one of the ships that escaped Palma before it was destroyed in two.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I think chronologically, it's like the last game in the series, so
That
that's weird.
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
I know,
something like that.
all I know is between 1 and 4, if you stick to the Matavia star system,
Yeah,
it spans about 2,000 years.
yeah,
Because you had the
crazy.
original, and then 1,000 years later you have two, and then 1,000 years after that is four.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was one I do know a lot of the lore of the original Fantasy Star games.
Nice.
My friend Bob, I watched him play through the majority of 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, excellent.
Mm-hmm. And I remember that the first time I got C2 was because Bromley had gotten it as a Christmas present.
Oh, neat.
So I watched him
Neat.
play that too.
It may be a really tough game, but I gotta respect 2 for being, for the time, as brutally depressing as it is. Like, almost nothing fucking goes right in that game. It's just, it's cruel. It's almost misery porn by RPG standards.
Yeah.
Um,
And that, and for everyone who's all like, oh no, Eris in Final
mm,
Fantasy VII.
wait,
Yeah.
wait, don't. Well, I'm
I,
not sure if you should spoil it,
that's
but
all I'm going to say, and I'm pretty sure everyone already knows what happens. But
yeah, yeah,
let's just say
indeed,
that Fantasy Star 2 did it first.
it did. Yeah.
And, in my
Uh,
opinion, better. But that's
I
me.
would say so, yeah. Hell, Final Fantasy even did it first in 5, and I also think better. Um,
Uh,
not
2 still beat it
yeah,
by a
yeah,
couple of
at
years.
least.
But yeah, I
Oh,
remember. In fact, check this out. When Brawley beat Fantasy Star 2 originally, you want to know how I got to see the ending?
how's that?
He had one of those Polaroid cameras that had the pictures that would like the instant pictures.
Oh,
Yeah, he just took pictures of all the different ending screens.
well, that's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. So it's like I can't hear the music. I don't know if there's any movement going on, but I can at least see what they're saying.
And definitely one of the most unorthodox endings I can ever think of, and well, not even just RPGs, and for most video games, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, you're right about that, Prime. I remember in '97 that like everyone that I knew at the time who was into gaming was all like, Final Fantasy VII's coming out for the PlayStation, yeah. And it's like, did you even really know about Final Fantasy before this? I don't know. Of course, at the same time, I was sitting there going, Final what now? I'm waiting for Symphony of the Night.
I will say this. I will say this. And Jay, if you're listening, I'd like to hear your opinion about them. But I did actually recently. I meant to do this for a while, but recently I finally got around to replaying the three main Final Fantasy games on the PlayStation 7, 8, and 9. And while I do think that the Aerith moment in 7 is somewhat ballyhooed, I gotta admit there's a lot of other good things about 7 that I could see why it was as respected back in the day as it was. It had it had some really interesting characterization. It was actually pretty straight on with socio-political commentary, how a corpo fascist entity just kind of is trying to grip the nation and make it dependent on it. Like the enemy in the game at first, before the long-haired pretty boy comes in, the company Shinra is just basically like fucking OCP from RoboCop, and it's Seven, by going as contemporary as it did with the setting, I think allowed it to feel a lot more relatable to modern life and other people playing it at the time. And Midgar is kind of long. Yeah, that's kind of hard to deny there. What do you think about 8 and 9, though, is what I'm interested in. Because I got to admit, I don't know if I'm just a nostalgic sap or what, but I just really enjoyed replaying 7 when I got back to it. Warts and all, but it's still got a really interesting world to me, and the soundtrack still is fantastic as it is. 8. I like 8 and 9 a lot too, but funny enough, feel free to boo me. I can't say that I like them as much as 7 in this recent replay, but uh, 8, however, is a really fucking weird game, and I understand why it's somewhat controversial in the fandom, because, like, its gameplay systems, like, it does nothing conventionally. Like, equipping magic to boost my stats instead of, like, actual equipment, man, that is fucking weird. Who thought of that idea? But, and yet, 9... I actually, for a long time, kind of had a low opinion of 9, because I just thought that, I don't know, like, setting-wise, it felt like it tried to be too conservative, and also I thought the main protagonist, Zidane, was like a horny shonen protagonist monkey boy, and I thought he was a real jerk. But, finally getting around to replaying 9, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit this time. I think I found in it what most people enjoyed, and it's a very charming world. The aesthetics are really fantastic, and it's, I think, does try some very interesting things with the plot. It doesn't quite realize everything the plot. I feel like there's sort of a point where time and budget kind of kept them from exactly panning things out the way they want to. Like, they throw a lot of balls into the air and they stop juggling a large chunk of them near the end of the game, which is unfortunate. And I have mixed thoughts on Kuja. I think he's easily a more in some ways, he's a more impressive antagonist than large chunk of antagonists. I say, fuck. He's an interesting villain in some ways, yet I also kind of think in some ways he's discount Kefka. So, like, I don't know, there's probably a lot that you could write. Yeah, I remember that. 9 was originally supposed to be a Gaiden, like the Crystal Chronicles games or whatever, so it was never really meant to be one of the main titles. And, back for its time, it really wasn't all that well respected, and it only kind of really got a lot more popular lately, and I just kind of thought that anyone who was saying that 9 was the best or secret best game was, kind of a hipster who was really paying more attention to the world than the mechanics. But the mechanics are actually pretty decent. They're maybe not the most advanced in the series, and it's probably one of the least breakable games in the series as well, but I just have to admit, I do have to admit, the sort of charm and overall design that went into 9's aesthetics was really enough to carry it for a long time. In fact, I even came around to liking Zidane and some other characters I had a low opinion on. Eiko still kind of sucks, though. She's anime in a really bad way, but, they can't all be singers. Rob is probably wondering what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, which brings me to what I wanted to say regarding Final Fantasy.
Please do, yeah.
Okay, I know virtually next to nothing about any of the games with the exception of 4, because obviously I played through it. There's only 3 things I remember about 7. Okay, the first one is the thing that I was doing my best not to spoil. You know the thing.
Yeah, that one's kind of hard
to did it better.
Yes, exactly.
And let's see. After that would be Tifa.
Boobs.
That would be number 3.
2 and 3 are her tits. It's like, there are a lot of jokes about it, to be sure, but the way they are actually rendered in the game are kind of almost ridiculously proportionate. Like, wow, just in a few scenes here and there, you get like a really close look at her chest, and it's like, oh Jesus, this isn't realistic at all, is it? Like, she should maybe consider some reduction surgery. I don't know.
Well, that's just how things are.
Yep, apparently so.
Mm-hmm. She's just one of the latest in a long line of video game chicks who have captured everyone's imagination over the years. But
And their groins.
that depends. It's like, for example, to go to say Street Fighter. It's like
Yeah.
Cammy's my girl,
Yeah.
but she was never one of the grab your groin types. She's just awesome.
Uh, mm, I don't know. Depending on who you ask, I think some would look at her the same way
Oh,
most
undoubtedly.
people would look at Tifa. Hmm.
I could tell you though, having recently spent some time playing, I think it was Super Street Fighter 4.
Oh, really now?
Yeah, I actually went through it the other day.
Oh, really?
Hmm. And
Huh. I haven't heard about
granted,
this.
I didn't mention it. It was on easy still, but I did play it, and I have to admit, I'm really liking Elena.
Elena's awesome. Oh, I love her. She debuted in Street Fighter 3, which I'm a total hipster for, and oh, she's just so cool. Like,
Hmm. But no,
I don't know how she has one of the skimpiest outfits in the series and yet comes across as less indecent than Rainbow Mika. If you know about Mika, anyway.
yes, but
Oh, Jesus.
now Cammy's my girl though when it comes to Street Fighter. Uh, and I'm gonna say that it's always been that way since I first played, Super Street Fighter 2. But there was something else that also helped cement that. You know what that is?
Her ass.
No, Cannon Spike.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that game. Oh, that
Yeah,
game's actually pretty rad, yeah.
I love Cannon Spike.
Yeah, no, that one's awesome. I really like the Arthur now piloting like a badass like golden mech suit. That's really cool.
That is great. I didn't like you could play Mega Man in the Dreamcast version.
I think it's one of the two hidden characters. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, you had to enter a code for him at any rate.
Mm-hmm. Cannon Spike was one of those games. I remember seeing it. It was on a Game Source shelf, and I got a Dreamcast right when they were starting to be phased out, actually, because Sega just threw in the towel.
Oh, dunk!
And they had Cannon Spike for like $12.
Holy shit!
I got Shenmue for like 16.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, I remember looking at the package and I'm like, okay, it looks like some kind of a shooter in a way. And is that Arthur? and, and of course, right on the cover, there's Cammy, and it's like, Cammy's in this, and it's not a versus fighter. I'm getting this game.
Fair deal, fair deal. Yeah, who are the other characters? It was Cammy, Charlie, Arthur, Sheba, who's actually one of the characters from Midnight Wanderers, slash Three Wanderers, which we were talking about earlier today, actually.
Yeah.
And an original character by the name of Simone, who allegedly was supposed to be Lin Kurosawa from Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah. And
At least I think I remember hearing something about that. It might be apocryphal, but like I thought I heard something as such. And then Mega Man and BB Hood from Darkstalkers as secret characters, which is pretty rad.
BB
Really
Hood.
rad.
Yeah.
She's great. She's the. I mean, I love Darkstalkers and his character designs. Like the whole thing about an innocent-looking human being one of the biggest monsters of all, and just like being a fucking walking arsenal all herself is just. It's a plus. Like you barely see characters like that in games anymore.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I know at the same time when I got my Dreamcast originally it came with a crap load of sports games
Mm.
and Soul Calibur.
Oh, nice.
I kept Soul Calibur, took the sports games down to the flea market, and as the Dreamcast, it was in demand, but it was starting to be phased out. I didn't find Cannon Spike and Shenmue for like a couple of months after that.
Dang.
But what he had there in the case that I basically traded for was stuff like Gunbird 2
Oh,
and
cool.
Mars Matrix.
Very cool.
Yeah. Uh, Gunbird too was great,
Oh, that game is really fun. Yeah.
and
Well,
especially being the Dreamcast version, you could play Morgan.
oh yeah, she was in that. I almost forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have gotten Cannon Spike from me. It was more than likely Ryan Sharon. So, but yeah, that was such a great time as far as finding all these really cool shooters and shooter adjacent titles.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when I also managed to get my hands on Gigawing 1 and 2.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I remember talking about that earlier too.
Yep. So, which makes me wonder, Gigawing's available via that Capcom Arcade Stadium. What happened to 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's 2?
Uh, I know two like ran on a more advanced hardware, at least.
Uh,
I couldn't tell you if that's any sort of factor as to why it's not readily playable yet, but hopefully it does get like that at some point.
yeah, and for that matter, bring in Mars Matrix while we're at it.
Yeah, Mars Matrix is a really fucking cool game.
Yeah, it
Just
is.
like just the central conceit of being able to redirect enemy fire like that is well, it's some really neat shit. What can I say?
And here's a story about Mars Matrix for you.
Yo,
I had it shortly after Leona was born.
oh nice.
So I was still in the middle of a big Dreamcast kick at the time. I mean, I even had copies of Zero Gunner 2. I should say
Ooh,
a
sweet.
copy. But I remember she had one of those swings at the time. You know, like motorized swing that would just go back and forth, kind of, lull the baby to sleep kind of thing.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Well, one day I parked her next to me, fired up the Dreamcast, threw on Mars Matrix. That child was entranced by all those bullet patterns.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. She just sat there and watched and eventually fell asleep.
It's a pretty visually arresting game. I haven't played Mars Matrix in ages, but yeah, it's a rad one. And yeah, the company that made it, Takumi, weren't they formerly branch of Toaplan, if I'm not mistaken?
That wouldn't surprise me.
I think I remember something like they're related to Toaplan in some way, but my brain's kind of screwing out right now.
But that had to have influenced her in some way because she does like shooters.
Excellent.
In fact, one of her
Very
favorite
good.
games is Death Smiles.
That one is really fun. I was surprised that I hadn't actually played that one until a few years ago when a modern arcade of all things. This almost sounds like a fable, but I swear this really happened. There was a Death Smiles machine, and that was the first time I ever played it. I remember I picked the green girl with glasses. I couldn't remember her name, but there's always like a glasses one with like anime girls ensembles. But
Yeah, of course.
I ended up actually really digging it, and surprisingly, I managed to beat it on one credit, which I don't know if the game's just naturally that easy, or if I was just on fire, like in rare form there.
Mm,
I heard it is actually pretty easy, but still,
yeah,
for never having picked it up before, I assume that's still relatively impressive.
yeah. Well, if you want to know what one of Leona's other favorite games is,
Hmm.
take a wild guess.
Lollipop Chainsaw.
She likes it, but I wouldn't call it one of her favorites. No, this is one she's actually played and has done very good at. And I'll narrow it down a little bit for you. It debuted on the Neo Geo.
Twinkle Star Sprites?
No, no.
Hmm. One of the Metal Slugs?
Yes.
Hmm. Which one specifically?
3.
Oh my god, that one's really hard.
Mm-hmm. She loves that game.
I love the first half of Metal Slug 3. The final stage, which is the entire second half, I'm a lot more mixed on. Snarb, if you'd care to weigh in on this, I'm sure Prime might also have an opinion on Metal Slug 3. Uh, I do think that's a very interesting game, and sort of as like an excess of yeah, first. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, no, that final stage is ridiculously. Oh yeah, Jay, I really like Metal Slug a lot. They're just really deliciously stylish. But
Any
I'm not.
any
What's that?
game that features blood vomit as an attack is
Mm,
okay
mm,
with
mm.
me.
That is one of my favorite things about three. Stage two is actually maybe my favorite bit. It's one of the more linear ones when like stages one, three, and four have a lot more branching paths. But yeah, no, the zombie blood vomit is just 100. It takes up your grenade slot, but like, wow, this fucking blood laser you just shoot helicopters out of the sky with that. Oh, that is so cool. And then the boss is like this weird, like alien, like orb or whatever that tries to crush you with fucking monoliths. That is so God, lots of really great ideas. Well, in the first two Metal Slug, certainly, but three, I think, was on fire with a lot of really neat shit. And then the final stage just causes the pacing to jump off a cliff and into a tar pit. It's ooh boy, it's Snarb. I don't know if I'm using this analogy correctly, but would you say that the final stage of Metal Slug 3 is the ugly bastard that ruins the hentai? Is that an unfair way of putting it? I don't know.
All right, well, I'll hit you with a different one here.
What's up?
Would you care to guess who became Leona's instant favorite SNK fighter character?
Leona
Yes.
Hydern?
Yep.
There's
As,
a character fucking with her same name.
as
Like,
soon as she found that out, Leona became her character.
the hilarious thing is that I don't think you even knew about Leona Hydern's existence as a character when you named your child. So,
No, she was named after my
uh,
mother.
yeah, exactly. So, like, and she's got this awesome, like, Marge Simpson-y haircut as well, but she's a badass. And,
Hmm.
yeah, she's great.
And
I
then
like her.
when I bought Metal Slug Double X for the 360,
Oh, yeah, yeah. She was a DLC character on that.
yeah, you better believe Leona latched onto that too.
And she is basically like like she has a little bit of everything going for her character. She's really powerful as well.
Hmm. So, yes, I've been an influence.
Awesome.
Same thing with Katie. Of
Yeah, I
course.
mean, to put a more positive spin of the downer tangent I was on earlier, I think that recent generations at least know enough about how life has been the way we experience it that they're not going to, let that go to waste anytime soon.
No.
So that does fill me with some hope.
Question is, would you care to guess what one of Katie's absolute most favorite games in the world is?
Let me think about that one bit.
I'll narrow the field for you. It's a Nintendo title, as in by Nintendo.
Super Metroid?
That's the one.
Excellent, excellent. That is raising them right. That is maybe, if not, I keep wanting to say that's maybe to me the greatest SNES game ever made. Certainly it has its flaws, but I just think it's just so major in its many aspects of its design that like I think anyone who thinks the game is overrated is maybe insane. So, um, if I might be blunt, so
Well,
uh,
it's strange. Anyone who's listening to this might think that they're, younger, but they're actually both in their early 20s. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, to credit, like several of many NES and SNES games are like readily playable in like unlike modern consoles, especially like on the Nintendo Switch. Like at least Nintendo themselves aren't going to let anyone forget their legacy either. So. Except for Star Tropics, fuck you, Nintendo. Where's Mike Jones? Put the bananas back in your ears, man. But like he can only go so far. But yeah, I do think there's at least enough interest in, quote unquote retro games that that there will always be a place for that. If anything, there's been a lot of disgruntled feelings about the state of modern games, to the extent that I think people are a lot more willing to look into retro games. So that's a silver lining of the rather otherwise iffy state of the industry, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And on that note, it's a little past midnight, and I have an event to go to tomorrow, so I need to get some sleep.
Oh, really now?
Yes. Huh. So, all that said, the books are still coming. And now you guys know that Mike's working on one too.
Yeah, don't expect as much fervent progress in that one. It's really more for funsies than anything, but again, it seems like the idea got some positive response here, so that does encourage me.
Mm-hmm. So, and I'll be, once I've got, something a little closer that I can maybe show off an excerpt or two from what I've been writing, I will.
Awesome.
So, to open tonight's stream, I'd just like to say, it's me, Rob, and with me, as usual, is Mike.
Hello, baby. Lawsy.
Yep. So, I hope you enjoy our stream tonight. We'll be talking about a lot of things, and let's get started, shall we?
Yeah, I'm psyched for it. Let's go.
All right.